away, nice and slow. Your laughter ripples like sweet warm wine. In this jazzy sultry space you're mine. The saxophone croons a velvet tune, while melodies dance beneath the moon. We'll toast to moments both grand and small, in this hazy, lazy, jazz-touched hall. But let's sit together in the mellow night. We'll drink to love till the morning light. Every glass we raise a promise true. Here's to the magic in a drink with you. Your eyes, they sparkle with every click. Sweet rendezvous over a simple drink. We'll share our secrets in whispers low, just you and me where the jazz flows slow. The world outside fades into the mist, but here it's our own dreamy tryst. With each sip our worries drift away. Let's stay together till the break of day. So let's sit together in the mellow night. We'll drink to love till the morning light. Every glass we raise a promise true. Here's to the magic in a drink with you.
The following live stream has been approved for appropriate audiences. It may contain occasional strong language and may not be suitable for younger or more sensitive viewers. Viewer inebriation is advised, though not mandatory.
Good evening, happy Friday, and welcome to Last Call, where the force is strong, the drinks are stronger, and the nostalgia is stronger still. Tonight we're diving headfirst into our childhood memories of Star Wars, especially those epic toys that we begged our parents for. The Millennium Falcon, lightsaber duels in the backyard, X-Wings, Ewok villages, and that one Death Star playset. You know which one. And joining us once again is the king of vintage toys himself, the one and only Retro Blasting. He's forgotten more about 70s and 80s Star Wars merch than your average fanboy will ever know. So grab a drink, dust off your old action figures, and let's make some new memories tonight. It's Last Call, baby, and the Canarble Wagon rolls right now.
Last Call is streamed before a live audience.
What you sipping on?
The kamikaze!
Happy birthday to you, happy birthday, age boomer, happy birthday to you. Just wanted to wish you a happy birthday, my boomer boo.
Happy birthday, Boomer. How you doing? You're how old now? 58?
What? What'd you say?
No, I said you're what, 58? Oh, yeah, your hearing goes when you get older.
No, not there, 49. But yeah, I'm getting up there. So,
oh,
yeah.
You haven't even hit the big 5-0.
I'm gonna. That's next year. That'll be fun. That'll be me.
We're gonna have a big one. But I just wanted to. She wished you happy birthday yesterday. She wanted to do it again today. So
I'm very happy that Sophia wished me another happy birthday. It's my birthday weekend.
Yes, it's your birthday weekend, absolutely. And you got your movie on Monday. You got your Hellhound. What was it called? Devil Dog.
Devil Dog, Hound of Hell.
Well,
because they needed to explain what the Devil Dog was in case you were misunderstanding the
Of
title
course.
Devil Dog.
Yeah, you might have thought it was about a Marine or something. You never know.
Well, nowadays it might have been about if they were doing it nowadays, it'd be Devil Dog, the making of the Drake's what was it, the Drake's Cakes confection, basically.
Gotcha.
It would be like a biopic thing about the making, because that was a big thing, making product movies years ago. Because unfortunately, everything else was off limits. But I'm doing good tonight. I have my Michelob. I stole whatever was in the fridge. It's a USDA organic superior light beer. Michelob
Well-
Ultra Pure Gold Organic Light Lager. Only 85 calories though, so that's not too bad.
You know what I say about light beer, right?
What?
It's for people who just like to pee. I just
Basically, it's just tasty water, yes. And I have some Zapp's potato chips, Evil Eye chips. So I'll mute myself when I'm crunching on them. So don't worry.
Okay, fair enough. Let's get Netter in here. Of course, she's the bouncer. She might have to keep an eye on y'all because it's probably going to be a real drinky night. How you doing, my dear? And what are you sipping on tonight?
I am literally exhausted. I spent all day deep cleaning the kitchen, and I'm still not done. But I am drinking my Polar Brand Seltzer Water Blackberry Mango, and I may actually switch to an alcoholic beverage because of how hard I worked today.
You absolutely deserve it. Plus, I don't want that pineapple juice going bad, so let's make sure we use that up. And of course, he's waited long enough. The guest of the show, Michael French of Retroplay. I introduced you in the promo as just Retroblasting, which feels really weird to me. But I mean, it's your brand, so it
yeah, the brand is designed so that if anybody has to take over the channel at some point, they can also be referred to as Retroblasting.
Oh,
that's fair. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So obviously, it could just as easily be Last Call with Netter's Network or Last Call with the
Right.
Boomers.
The fact that you put Last Call as the primary title means that anybody can sub in, so.
Oh, so like when you have a certain Australian sub. For your channel.
Totally.
Yeah, exactly.
That. Yeah.
Because I fully expect Kylie's going to take over your show one day.
I hope so. That's my ultimate dream. See, that's the whole thing. There was this. It's a bad movie by extension because it didn't age well. But there's a great line in Air Force One where some government guy says, "The presidency is more than just one man." And I always took that attitude when it came to my channel. It's like Retroblasting is more than just one man. Like it could be anybody. So. Yeah.
Actually, it's true with the presidency, though.
No, it is. But that's why I was like, I shouldn't name this Michael's, basement of magic or whatever. Or, that would just lock it in. It would just lock in.
So just because I know you usually don't make it to Liquid Lunch, just so you know what's going on. I don't know, it must have been about a month and a half ago, for Members Night at the Movies, we did the movie Cocktail, which, oh my gosh, how have I gone this long on this channel and not done a watch party of Cocktail? And I'm listening to the Last Barman Poet, and I'm like, you know what? I need to take every single one of these drinks, and every week I will have one of those drinks. But as I'm researching them, I'm coming to realize that some of them did not exist before Cocktail. They were invented for the purpose of making the rhyme or fit the whatever.
Right.
And some of them just aren't good.
Well, yeah.
However,
yes.
Today's was the Kamikaze.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you something. It's not a bad drink. I kind of like this. This one's probably going to become a regular for me, and I think I'm going to get bombed on it. But there you go. In fact, I'm going to try I'm going to try 2 different variations tonight. I may go for a third.
Okay.
But this one's a straight traditional one, right?
I'm more of the, I take my coffee black and I take my whiskey neat. So
I get you. But I gotta mix it up because otherwise I get boring.
No, I get it.
If I'm gonna base my channel around my drinking, I gotta really.
If I had done the same, it would have been within a few months. It'd have been like, I think this is just a channel for like an alcoholic. Like I think.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. That's okay. I know we're live, so everybody's listening. So I'm gonna ruin the mystique here. I don't drink near so much as people think I do. Usually it's only Fridays, and sometimes not even then. Sometimes I fake it. Yes, Netter can attest that sometimes I fake it.
I think most people though would be encouraged by that who are in the audience. I don't think they're going to fault you for that. I think they're going to be like, "Oh, thank goodness!" Like they're going to, you know what I mean?
Well, the worst part is when I get the craziest and the silliest. It's probably not because I've been drinking. It's just me.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, he's just a goofball.
Yeah, I mean, I'll blame it on the alcohol, so I have something to blame it on. But
that's wise. Like that's pretty trig. That's pretty trig of you. Yeah.
Let me say hi to the chat before we get too much farther into it. Big Al of Big Al Presents. Looking forward to hanging out with you tomorrow night for Tangled. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. May the Force be with you, my friends. Hope you have a great show tonight. My first Star Wars toy was Luke's Landspeeder. This was before I had any figures. I still have it sitting on my shelf today. That is cool.
Well, I wonder if that means it was the die-cast one or if it was the figure one, but he had like, C.B. McCall and the Duke boys in it or something.
Well, that was the nice thing because right around that time, everything started going to 3 3/4.
Right.
So you could mix and match.
You could literally put Spider-Man in the X-wing.
The pocket heroes. That's right. That's exactly right. Thank you, Migo. But no, I think he means the 3 3/4 inch. It was just a while before you could get any action figures.
Right.
But anyway, hail to you, Tim Hayes. Welcome, Tim Hayes. I knew you would be here tonight. And Geek Flag with Nate Knows says, like, share, subscribe, comment, become a member. And if you were going to give a super chat of $5 or more, why not consider giving a gift membership so that you can help our family grow? Canarble Fedora logo. Yes, absolutely. I would definitely appreciate it if you were to do all of those things. Definitely do all the clicky things. And Nate shared something that I forgot to put into the studio, so hopefully I can do that when we cut to commercial. But he's got some Star Wars memories that he wanted to share, and I think it's some really, really good stuff. But he also shared putting his money where his mouth is. He shared a super sticker, and you know what that means, right? He shared the Farty Fox.
Shimmy left, shimmy right, Farty Fox is dancing tonight. Wait. Hearts go popping out his bum, wiggle, wiggle, here they come. Come. Cute as can be with a fluffy tail sway, spreading love in the silliest way. Farty Fox, you're the best. Boop, 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 you're simply the cutest mess.
Thank you so much, Nate. Yeah, what was that, right?
Say what you've missed in your absence, Michael.
What? Please tell me you don't play that in full with every $2 super sticker.
Only when somebody gives the $2 Farty Fox.
There's nothing here that says Farty Fox. It's just $2. Like, how do you know?
Well, because it's Sheba dog shaking his body from left to right, surrounded by hearts.
Okay, got it.
That GIF that you saw during the thing is what the super sticker looks like.
Oh, got it. Right.
And we one of our regulars here started calling it the Farty Fox, and I realized that this so-called Sheba dog actually looks like a fox, and as it's dancing, it looks like it's farting out these hearts.
Because
so she called it the Farty Fox.
Because I gotta quote Samuel Proctor right now. He says, "So Farty Fox is just gonna be a regular thing now, eh? Is this my life now?" Like I'm kind of like.
Yeah,
what?
Yeah, like, and I'm happy to come up with other stuff.
No, I don't think it's bad. I'm just enjoying the sort of anime adjacent
special thing.
Yeah,
it means a lot to me.
It's a big deal to Nair. So YouTube doing its goofiness and its
Right.
so we were all loving the Farty Fox, you know, yay Farty Fox,
Look,
right?
I'm
And then,
not complaining. I'm just setting a baseline. And
no,
yeah, and I think this anime Fox thing is hilarious, just like My Dear No-Katan. So I'm all for it.
absolutely.
I just want to be ready for it. Like, you know, what's the, you know, how does this gun fire? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's whenever somebody gives the
Right.
$2 Farty Fox or
Right.
Shiba dog, you know,
Right.
farting out hearts.
Got it.
So YouTube was pulling, you know, after the so-called Farty Fox became, you know, something that we all got, and especially Netter, she'd get real encouraged. Oh, you gave me the Farty Fox, thank you so much. YouTube looked like they were taking away the super stickers because they wanted to do this stupid gems thing or whatever, and sometimes the super stickers were there, sometimes they weren't. And Netter's like, does that mean we're going to lose the Farty Fox? So I went online and found a GIF of what comes up when the super sticker comes up, and I turned it into that.
Smart.
And I said, no, we'll never lose the Farty Fox.
Right.
If we lose super stickers, then if someone gives, say, a $2 super chat or whatever, I'll do...
Yeah.
And says Farty Fox or something, I'll do the Farty Fox.
Right.
But it hasn't gone away, and when people give the Farty... okay, fine, I'll bring up the Farty Fox thing that I did.
It is amazing to have
It's
seen
gotten
it.
popular.
It's amazing. Hey, I know a little something about the mascot that you didn't expect to be a mascot. So
Right.
no, I support it wholeheartedly.
You guys can't see it, but in the backdrop, I'm able to see, you know, Michael, you know, and he's sitting there and he was getting ready to take a drink and he's like, the fuck's going on? I'm like, I gotta explain. So thank you for the $2 Geek Flag. Salute to you as well. Deleted Seats, good to see you, my friend. He also says, like, share, subscribe, comment, become a member, gift a membership, Fedora Mumbler, logo, Canarble. I kind of wish you could see, you know, those emojis in the platform, but unfortunately you can't. Netter calls me the love of her life and says, become a member for as little as 7 cents a day. Am I not worth 7 cents a day? 7 cents for the enjoyment that you get. Well, I'm assuming you get enjoyment because otherwise you wouldn't be here unless you're a masochist, in which case, am I not worth 7 cents a day for torturing you? Gives you 4 movies a month. That's 4 members' streams every month. And you get to choose the movie. And you'll find out more about that during the break. The members are still choosing what movie they will be watching this Monday. Where else are you going to get a deal like that? If you're so inclined, please consider joining at the next level up for 17 cents a day. Boy, even a regular membership, only 17 cents a day. What can you get for 17 cents a day? Honestly, she loves her Farty Fox.
Yes, I do.
Let's see here.
See, Lady Miss was the one who was always dropping the Farty Fox, and then she had made a comment that it looked like the fox was farting out hearts, so he became the Farty Fox.
That is,
yeah.
That
I
is,
love
enough.
Farty Fox.
that is definitely the Care Bears character that didn't get into the Flying Cat.
It deserved it. No. It wasn't Care Bears. What was the spin-off of Care Bears? The ones that had the elephant.
Yeah. There was like another run of them, the Care Bears Friends.
Care Bears Friends. Yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah, not my wheelhouse, so it kind of goes out of my head. But
Right. I just like the whole idea of Care Bear stare, and then there's like, I don't know, Fox Tart fart or something like that. Like it's like
I was just swallowing.
It's like the opposite. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, that burns. Well met, Jarl Thunder. Welcome. And I assume that's how it's pronounced because I'm seeing Mjolnir in the icon. So I'm gonna say Jarl Thunder. Let's see here. Oh, Age of Boomers in the chat. Look at that. Almost missed this. Hey, Samuel Proctor. I would have forgotten that was happening tonight if I didn't sit down and refresh my homepage. Yeah, you should do that from time to time. Let's see. Harrison 1875 TAC X1S. What is that AI garbage? Well, you know, We do what we must.
What?
We do.
What are you
what
talking
we must.
about? You
Yeah,
animated
no.
that for 3 weeks in your
That
back
is
in
that
your
is
garage.
that is Agent Boomer's girlfriend. So
Oh, you mean Sophia? Sophia's
that
real to
might be.
me.
That
Don't you
might be.
dare.
I'm just glad that he upgraded from the pillowcase, the printed
I'm
pillowcase.
right.
And
right.
you,
I'm still worried about him, but
yeah.
you know,
Did
we're
you hear
taking
what he said at the
statements.
beginning of the stream? He said he stole a drink out of his own fridge. That's how low he has sunk.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway,
I'd like to know who he's stealing it from, but you know, I mean,
Himself. Like, he's at
himself,
that
I
point.
guess.
Yeah. That's a sad state of affairs.
And Connie Cleary, the bird woman of YouTube and the star of Fluff Chick Productions. Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, that didn't creep me out at all. I'm not sure what I did or said, but I said worse. I've said worse. Whatever it was,
I think it was Sophia.
Possibly.
now listen. I do have pillowcases of Harui Suzumaya, but that's because they came with the special edition. I've never
Wow.
used them on a pillow.
That's a deep cut.
This is why the two of you, I'm out because I don't know what you guys are talking about at all.
It's a weird anime, but they
That's fair. That's
they gave away, if you bought the special editions, and the special editions were on sale, and then I saw these pillowcases with the lady characters on them came with them, and I'm like, wow, they're in high school, aren't they?
They're a line that when you cross them, you cannot go back.
I've not used them, man. You got to believe me.
Okay. All right.
So, Angel Star 23 says, "Hello. Do you both think?" And I'm not sure which both you're referring to. I mean, there's four of us on panel, but do you think Keanu Reeves would play the great Darth Revan? And if you've watched Maul Shadow Lord, do you think that the pink Twi'lek Divan will become Darth Talon? I have not watched it. I would love to see Darth Talon become canon. We have been having a discussion in the group a little bit during Liquid Lunch all week about Dave Filoni and pseudo-canon and canonization of pseudo-canon and so on and so forth. And on the one hand, a lot of people are oh, he can't come up with anything of his own. He's just stealing from the EU. And I'm like, true, he can't come up with anything of his own, but it's kind of his bag to draw from now. I'm pleased every time something from EU is canonized. I went off for a while during the first season of Mandalorian. I was so excited that Life Day was canonized and the Imperial Troop Transport was canonized. And now apparently, I haven't seen it and I'm not going to see it, but this new Mando Grogu movie canonized one of the I forget, IMP something or other, one of the mini rigs.
Yeah. You're not going to see it?
I'm not. I'll find it on the high seas later, I did with all the rest of the Mandalorian.
Gotcha.
Because I've heard it's not bad.
Right.
It's better than season 3. So I mean,
when I did my video on Patreon, I said real quick, right up front, I was like, "This is not a video to dog on Mandalorian and Grogu. This is more of a different discussion. I don't want people to hate it if they want to love it. And
I'm assuming they'll release it on physical media. I'll probably get it because I got the first two. Was it the first two that did they release all 3 seasons of The Mandalorian?
I don't know because they still haven't released Andor season 2, and the only show that I own on their 4K is Andor season 1, and that was because I hadn't seen it because I didn't own Disney Plus. So
I think it's been 1 and 2 because I work at a library and that's what we've gotten in. So,
okay, good. I was whoa! I got a drinking problem or a pouring problem anyway.
I've seen Airplane. I know how this works.
Yeah, exactly. Give me a second. But no. Boomer's my guy for what has been and hasn't been released. But so I'm switching it up to I think it's called Blue, something Blue.
I'll tell you.
Netter will check my notes, but it swaps out. No. It's still a kamikaze, but it's like Blue Kamikaze. Blue Kamikaze. It swaps out the triple sec with blue curacao, and now that I think about it, I'm like, that actually makes sense. I can see that. Let me give this a try.
Big Al says all 3 seasons of Mandalorian have been released on disc.
Okay, I only have the first 2. I've got the lid here, so don't shake it until the topper's on it.
You gonna get season 3?
I might. It's not a huge priority for me. That's where it started to go downhill. We'll get back to that conversation in a little bit. Everyone but Troy is super quiet. That's because Troy's got a freaking loud mouth, and oftentimes Netter has to tell me, take it down, Troy.
If I'm quiet, let me know. Okay.
Cracked open the holiday BIB bourbon to join y'all tonight. Awesome. Thank you, Jarl. Thank you so much. Yep. Deleted Scene says, hail retroblasting. See, anybody on my channel, everybody knows retroblasting. In fact, they've gotten to the point where they're like, you're mentioning retroblasting again? Come on. Quit fanboying, you know? But Michael, you can't be recasted. Yeah, well, I know. I was thinking that too, but you know, I'm like, you know what? Melinda probably could. And we've got more vintage toy royalty in the house. Tony of Analog Toys, channel member Tony of Analog Toys, says, if you take over the Retro Blasting channel, does it come with the Hasbro hate? I'm sure it does.
It does.
Do you have cranberry juice down here ready?
I do. It was right behind you on the bar.
Oh.
Sorry. I should have told you that. Yes. All you have to do is friggin' mention anything related to Hasbro, and the Hasbros come out of the woodwork. I've had to deal with that.
I can't believe they're still at it after everything Hasbro's done over the last few years. I can't believe there's still people hanging on. Like, not so much buying their products, defending the decisions is what I mean.
Well, Michael, here's what it is. I see it with the Hasbros.
Mm-hmm.
I see it with Star Wars, Star Trek. I see it with everything. There is this certain group of people that you slap the license name on it, and it's just, tap it into my vein, I must have it, you know? And there is no sense of, you guys have lost the plot. This is no longer Star Wars. This is no longer whatever. I am not buying this. No, I am not paying that price. That's friggin' ridiculous. Mm-hmm. I'm done.
How did the Grogu figure recently, the HasLab for that do, or was it even a HasLab? The
$600 thing.
Yeah, that one. Did that?
I don't even know if that's a HasLab. I think that's.
You're right.
Wait, egotistical pre-order.
Hold on, I got to get caught up. What are we talking about?
No, the $600 Grogu, like the life-size Grogu. I think Michael's right.
Shit!
It wasn't a HasLab.
That wasn't a HasLab. That was because I would have been following it to see if it. Because I trashed the 6-inch scale Rancor that it was like nobody had room for it. It was way too expensive. I'm like counting it down. Reva's friggin' lightsaber that nobody wanted, that didn't. So no, this was a pre-order, I think, and actually maybe somebody in the chat can tell me, was that Grogu a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, or was that one of those Shop Disney exclusives? Either way, it was an online thing. They're selling it the appropriate way, in my opinion. Just put the thing out there, let people order it. If they want it, they get it. If they don't, they don't. But oh my gosh, right?
Target had it, but I'm not positive on that. I do know that it was fully animatronic. You had mentioned at the time that you thought cosplayers would like this thing, like if they're cosplaying as, the Mandalorian, they could have like the Baby Yoda with it.
I'm gonna poke at Tony a little bit. At Retro Blasting, lucky I still own body armor. Is that legal in Australia?
He's referring to the Hasbros. If he took over.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know. I'm just saying. You might not want to say that on a live stream, because no idea who might be listening in. Just stopping by to say good evening. Hope everyone is well. Christoph of the Vagrancy Horror. Guys, if you are a horror fan and you like original stories, check out the Vagrancy Horror. You really, really should do that. Let's see here. Let's see.
So far, do you like the first one better or the second one?
They're not significantly different. There's a little bit of sweetness to the blue curacao.
Let me try.
Oh yeah. I think you'll like it. It's not bad. It's not as vodka forward as you'd expect it to be.
It's not bad. I'm getting a lot of the lime.
Yeah, there's a lot of lime in it. You made it exactly the way it said.
And now it's like I'm getting like the vapors from the alcohol. It's like, wow.
And this is actually Smirnoff, not a sponsored stream.
No, I used the Buddy's vodka to clean the stove.
She did. She used the Buddy's vodka today to clean the stove, and it worked very, very well.
Oh yeah, it's great for cutting grease.
It tastes terrible.
It's vanilla.
It does. It tastes terrible, but it's good for cleaning. That's one reason I changed my channel name from Nate on Netflix to Geek Flag, and because I wasn't limiting myself to just Netflix. That makes sense.
Yep.
Makes sense. YouTube's getting out of hand with its ads again. I'm sorry, but guys, especially the members, reach out to me. I'll help you out with that. Because I get almost nothing from ad revenue. So I don't care if you're watching ads or not. And if you are, shall we say, avoiding dealing with ads, that means nothing to me too. So I can advise you on that. I can't do it on stream though. I'm not much of a fan of alcohol. Actually, I almost never drink. That's fine. That's why Helen in the opening, says, it's not mandatory, but it's encouraged because you might need it to get through the stream. Just saying, Yeah, I know booze isn't everybody's thing, but we're about more than just booze here. We'll get to the Star Wars talk in just a minute. I promise. I want to say hi to everybody here. You people listening, you guys are the important ones. Hello, friends, here for the retro blasting, staying for the booze. See, here's the other side of it. Somebody is here for the booze. That's fair. Thank you so much. The 8 weeks I waited for my mail-away Boba Fett was the longest of my... Look, let's just put it this way. It's not just that. Waiting between Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. Waiting between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Now, looking back, it's just a couple of years, and you're like, well, that's freaking nothing. That's a friggin' blink of an eye. But to a kid, that's an eternity. That's such a long time. But let me share with all the younger folks out there, time seems to speed up as you get older. Savor and enjoy every moment of life because it goes by in the blink of an eye as you get older.
Michael changed his avatar.
Kandagawa Jet Girls.
That's Harui Suzumaya, if I'm remembering.
I don't know this anime stuff. You guys know this stuff.
That was not Haruhi Suzumiya. That was Kandagawa Jet Girls.
Oh, for heaven's sakes!
Right, I was right.
I'm a fraud. Okay, there we go. It's tiny.
No.
The fact that you don't even know the eye color of the woman printed on your pillowcase is just unconscionable.
You're going the wrong way with this, Michael. What this is telling me is that Aged Boomer did not see the Kandagawa Jet Girls video. You did. So there's the shame on him.
Is it at least the same studio?
No.
Okay. Well, anyway, it was tiny on my screen. I thought you were.
Kandagawa Jet. No, Michael, you got to say it for me.
Kandagawa Jet Girls. Hell
Yep.
yeah.
Oh God, that's a great video. You still have that on the shared drive for us?
I have it on the shared drive, and I also have it as a YouTube link on the alternate public YouTube. It's public on the alt YouTube channel that I usually put all the Patreon stuff on.
Gotcha. Okay.
You can go see Kandagawa Jet Girls, the retro blasting videos of Kandagawa Jet Girls, Keijo, and Mysterious Girlfriend X.
Okay.
All on that channel.
Boomer,
Yeah.
I'll hook you up later. Well, actually, Boomer, are you still a member of his channel? If you're not, I need to
think
get
so,
you another
but
member.
I will re-up if I'm not. You had put me on, but I was so busy with school up until the end recently. I couldn't look at anything. What is that?
What is that, Boba Fett?
That's the bail away Boba Fett.
Nice. I don't still have the package for mine. I don't still have the package for mine.
And he's still in the bag.
Yeah.
And
he still can't fire the rocket.
And the note of apology is in there. Yep.
That's pretty awesome.
What if you opened that up and it was a little figure of Gary Coleman inside? That would have been interesting.
You know what? I would expect a response like that from somebody who has an anime pillowcase. I would.
You know something? I've never used it. It was a freebie that came with the collector's set. I didn't even know it was going to be in there.
You own it. That's the point. Michael, can you show us, or I don't know if you maybe don't want to take it out. No. I want to see the letter that says it's not rocket firing.
Coming right up, sir.
You're allowed to say no. It's your collectible.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So here is said letter.
Yeah.
And it says, right here.
Whoa.
Originally, our Star Wars figure was designed to
and they said they would replace it with any Star Wars mini action figure of your choice. I almost did send it back because I could not find Snaggletooth, but
that's hilarious.
I still wanted Boba Fett, so I didn't want.
Right.
Read the back. Read the back part of that.
The back part says, and the great part is I can show it to you while I read it because of the camera. A fearsome intergalactic bounty hunter who was introduced in the November 1978 Star Wars television special.
Thank you. That was the part I wanted. Thank you.
God, you are delightfully sick.
I absolutely am. I know I am. For those that don't know, every year on Life Day, the anniversary of the holiday special, we do a special watch party of the holiday special. Usually it's a fan edit because the original is kind of... but some of the fan edits are really, really good. Mark Malikoff has made it. Kapla! Here I are. I'm off from the dilithium mines this weekend. Congratulations, my friend. The force is strong with cream corn. Oh, great. Thanks a lot, man.
I mailed in for the Emperor.
Yep, I did too.
I mailed in for every mail-in they had. For every action figure that included, what was it, Forlom, Bosk,
Admiral Akbar.
Admiral Akbar, the Emperor. Didn't they do Anakin Skywalker?
They did, and those guys at Kenner let me down on that last one because I mail ordered that one after I'd ordered the Emperor the year before, and they never sent me my Anakin.
Damn it, man. Did you ever get one?
Yeah, I have two now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I did
the display bases? Remember the display
I remember
bases?
the display bases. I had an opportunity at a recent big toy show in Ohio to get the Empire Strikes Back segmented display base with its original mailer box and everything untouched, unplayed with, unused. And it was like, do I want to spend that $300? Not really. So I walked away from it, but I've seen it unmolested, like the whole mail away setup, kind of like this. Like, yeah.
But honestly, every single mail away they had, I did that crap. And I got every single one of them. I got that
survival kit.
The survival kit was the best.
Yeah, it was.
And it wasn't until the prequels where we started getting more of those like accessory packs.
Right.
I got all those accessory packs because I was like, I was on the prequels, but I love those accessory packs.
Right.
I made myself. So one of the things I think I talked about it in one of the Liquid Lunches this week. We were talking about the specialized stormtroopers, and the role playing game was big on thinking through specialized stormtroopers that we never saw on screen. One of them was the aquatic trooper, and it was basically a biker scout, a scout trooper, with like fins and scuba gear.
Right.
Well, guess what? Because of the Gungans, we got a scuba subaquatic accessory kit, and I'm like,
Right.
I got my aquatic troopers. Boom, there you
you
go.
go.
I'm gonna go through these real quick because I got to get through. I don't want to miss anybody, but I want to say hi to everybody. Accounting Sheep, good evening, my friend. Good to see you here. Jonathan Conroy says, "Hey all, smash the like button and enjoy the show. Thank you, my friend, for being here." And I'm gonna miss a lot of comments. Please forgive me. Lester Skeptic Tank says, "Hope you enjoy your birthday. You enjoyed your birthday, aged boomer." Geek Flag with Nate Knows gifted 1 membership. Thank you so much, my friend. I'm not seeing. Oh, that went to Robert's Infinite Realms. Welcome back to membership, my friend. Good to see you. Let's see. Michael knows me as David Whitehead. Good evening. Yeah, see, that's the problem. Now that we get this from YouTube, I don't know what your preferred name is. Just got my first Super 8 footage back from the lab. Just as I feared, the indoor shots are extremely grainy to the point of looking like a kaleidoscope. I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just going to kind of zip through these looking for names I haven't maybe seen yet. Yes, he is the Vintage Toy King. There's no doubt about that. I'm not going to bring up you guys talking to each other just because I really have to get through the comments. Thank you so much, Analog Toys, for being a member for 2 months. You are a good man. He was literally a guest on my channel, and I'm sitting there chatting with him and whatnot, and all of a sudden, boom, membership comes up. He joins as a member. He is a barfly because he likes that nomenclature. So there you go. Many guys claim they actually got the firing Boba Fett. Yeah, let's not blame people for thinking that, because there's a Mandela effect going on there, I think. We know the reality from the history of it. And I don't know, maybe I know there was a lot of guys that I knew that got the Boba Fett that were so pissed they pulled that rocket out, because it was kind of glued in. And I don't know, maybe somebody did some customization back then. It's entirely possible. Lucasfilm could learn from the past about releasing Star Wars movies. 3 to 4 years of waiting for a new movie, but you have to wait for something and not nothing. Yeah, it's got to be worth waiting for, but you got to make them eager for it, right? Yeah, I get that. Again. Okay, I think I'm caught up now. So let's.
I have switched to a Netter's Nectar.
Yeah, Netter's boozing it up tonight. She doesn't usually, but for those of you that know, a Netter's Nectar is pineapple juice and coconut rum. What brand do you drink? Coconut rum?
Malibu.
Sweetie, I'm 2 drinks in, so I'm a little foggy right now.
Yeah, Troy made the mistake once of buying me, was it Smirnoff or some other coconut rum? It was awful.
I don't remember.
It was so disgusting. I'm like, I'm not drinking this.
I ended up drinking it. Damn it. Shucksy darn. I'm sorry, I haven't met a rum yet that I don't like. Just saying. Although, to be fair, as I close out my streams and I always say, I want you all to be healthy. I'm trying to be healthier, so I've cut the carbs, but alcohol's full of carbs. I know that. So I've cut all the carbs from my diet, except alcohol. This is my exception. Fridays are my cheat days. I've even cut out pasta. Just
Wow.
just so you know, the Italian guy.
Oh my
cut out
goodness.
Well, I got to practice what I preach, right? And I've always pointed out that traditionally, pasta is holiday fare. Why? Because if you have people coming in for the holidays, you need to stretch that meal. So you make pasta. Yes, that's the reality of pasta. Tim Hayes, 19 months of membership. Are you trying to show off? You showing off to Tony, saying, "Hey, I've been around longer." Is that what you're saying? That's okay, because I super appreciate you, my friend. You are.
None of them can beat me. I've been around 34 years.
That's true. That is true. She hasn't smothered me in my sleep. She hasn't even tried to smother me in my sleep. So I maybe I'm doing something right. I don't know. But I am an Italian eating pasta. My Lord, is that legal? I will make it legal. Amen. So we've gone this long and we've kind of tittered around the Star Wars talk, but let's get into it. My whole thought was this is the true Star Wars week, right? Monday is the anniversary. Screw this whole May the 4th bullshit that the normies came up with. You know, let's be honest about it. But I don't know, Michael, help me out here. Tell me if you think differently. But we got 3 movies in our childhood.
Yeah.
Star Wars, Empire, and Jedi. And yes, there was the holiday special, which was kind of like a nibbler in between Star Wars and Empire.
Ewok adventure movies.
Which came after Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
That's true. That's fair. If I'm going to say holiday special, we got to include the two Ewoks.
Caravan of Courage. As it was
I've
known
got
in
some
Europe.
custom figures of those too. Just saying.
It was known in Europe. They didn't call it that over here, as I recall. It was just
Europe has a weird tendency of taking made-for-TV stuff here and making it into feature films over there. I don't know what it's all about.
Yeah.
But this is all we had. So in between, we thirsted for Star Wars. So we had comic books, but not all of us. Not all of us were into comic books. I read the comics. We had, by some of the same writers that did the comic books, there was the weekly comic strips in the newspaper. I collected all of those.
Yeah.
But beyond that, all we had was the toys and our own imaginations.
Yeah.
That's really what kept it alive for us in between.
in between what?
In between movies.
You mean between the original trilogy and the prequels?
No, well, that too. I was going to say.
Oh, you mean in
Star
between
Wars
the
and
original trilogy's movies?
Yeah,
between
Star Wars and Empire.
I understand.
Between
Okay.
Empire and Jedi.
Yeah, we had,
Remember,
like-
again,
yeah,
like
we
I
had-
was saying, for
We had
kids,
we had 3 Han Solo books. We had Splinter of the Mind's Eye. We had the holiday special, the Droids and Ewoks cartoons, which came after Jedi. We had the 2 Ewok movies that came after Jedi.
Right.
We had the comic book from Marvel that ran all the way through the original trilogy, which you could collect, yes or no. Yeah. And then we had read-along books that were original stories as well. So we had like Planet of the Hoojibs, Droid World, stuff like that. So there were some of those.
I remember Droid. I had Droid World. I remember that one.
What was the one where Lumpy goes looking for the Osaka berries?
Are you?
That was one of
messing with
those
me, or was
real
that like a real one?
No, that was real.
Oh, okay. I can't remember which one that was. It was it a read-along book or was it like?
Yeah, it was. It was one of those like record book type things.
Okay, it might have been something like Planet of the Hoojibs or something like that. They had a number of them throughout the run of the original.
So, for those of you that aren't in the know, the Hoojib were a creation of Joe Duffy from the comic book. They were basically like force-sensitive, intelligent rabbits.
Right.
And I mean like rabbit size. Well, I'm not talking like the anthropomorphic rabbit.
Right.
Like Jackson.
Right.
Jackson?
Jackson.
Was that his name?
2 X's. Jackson.
Right. No, I mean, and they were they indigenous to Endor, or were they from somewhere else?
They were from somewhere else because it was a different. I think it was a different planet. You know what?
Because there was a bunch of them in the comics after Return of the Jedi, while they were still on Endor.
Oh,
But
okay.
I can't remember if they like came with the Rebellion.
I own all the omnibuses, but you're more up on this than me. I haven't even cracked open some of those yet. So, yeah.
Dude, I haven't read them since they first came out.
Oh,
I have all the omnibuses because
right,
Netter's my enabler.
right, sure.
But I had a really good collection of the Star Wars comics,
Right.
and that was my canon for a long time.
Sure.
I was kind of. Those of you that love Mara Jade and think she's like the it girl, her predecessor was Lady Lumia.
Right, which I remember her too. Yeah.
And I was like, if Dave Filoni decides to do some sort of an amalgam of Lady Lumia and Mara Jade, I'd kind of be okay with that.
Right.
To be honest with you. To kind of be honest with you.
Yeah.
In fact, when Netter and I were first dating, you guys all know Netter's smolder picture, right?
Right.
You know, if you guys are members of Netter's channel, you know the smolder picture. I took that and I photo edited it into Lady Lumia's, scarred face, and she's like, "What the hell have you done to me?" And then I showed her the comics. She's like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." That's pretty cool. We thought about doing a cosplay. We ended up aging out of the cosplay, but we were gonna end up doing it. But anyway, I'm missing things. I gotta pay attention. Fair enough. Okay. So Michael, you're the guest. We're gonna start with you.
Okay.
Tell us, 100 words or less. I don't know. I don't want to limit you.
Okay.
Let's go for the next 20 minutes or so. Tell us your background with Star Wars toys, your childhood, how you got into Star Wars toys.
Okay. It was 1982, and I was over at my parents. I was 5, or no, I was 4.
You need to fill in. Was this U.S. or U.K.?
Oh, U.S. I wasn't in the U.K. till I was 12, or about to become. Yeah, I was 12. So so we are going over to the house of some friends of my parents who, they were a young couple like my parents were. They had no kids, and they had this state-of-the-art home theater. Like,
nice.
It was like the television that had the projection guns in the front, like sitting on the floor, like that unit kind of thing. And they had this big sectional couch, and they were going to play cards.
Wait, what year was this? Or
82,
approximately?
just 82.
Okay.
So somehow, my brother was real little. I don't know how my brother even stayed. He was like 2 years old or something.
Sure.
But I can't even remember him being there, quite frankly. But I remember.
This is the brother you stole all the He-Man action figures from.
I didn't steal them from him. He just had them all. So, He-Man was his thing. So I was sitting there, and they said, "Hey, while we play cards, our son, he gets into movies. He'll sit there and quietly watch a movie for an hour with no problem. Like, do you have anything he might be interested in?" And the guy, Mr. Berkeley, he was like, "Yeah, I have a video cassette. We don't know where he got it because he was that guy. Like he had a video cassette of Star Wars, which I'd never seen. And so it was, obviously it had never been broadcast on TV or anything like that. So it was an uninterrupted, full length movie that didn't look bootleggy or anything like it.
Right.
And it was on this big front projection 80s television, which it was one of those TVs where you couldn't sit to the left or the right of it because it would disappear, But I was to myself, and they were playing cards on the breakfast room table behind the couch. So I sat there and I watched this movie, and up until that point, I had been a Mego Spider-Man Pocket Heroes kid. I was a Superman lover, and I was a Dukes of Hazzard watcher.
Real quick, let me for context, and if you don't want to answer, that's perfectly fine. But what age range are we? Because I think you're younger than I am.
Yeah, I was born in '78. So I was about
Okay,
4. Yeah.
so you're about 7 years younger than I am.
Mhm.
Okay, so I just wanted to get.
But you can tell my memories of this are vivid.
Yeah.
And my parents have verified. I was blessed with a memory from my childhood that scares my family. Like it's like, oh, if we knew that you were remembering all this stuff so vividly back in the day, we might have made different choices for ourselves. You know, like it was.
Well, that's true. My mom has said, "Oh gosh, you remember that? Oh crap."
Yeah. So I sat there and was blown away by this movie, and I got to see it. I've always said, even though I was just young enough that I never got to see the movie in the movie theater, I couldn't have asked for a better first-hand experience on home video in the 80s. Like I got to see it for the first time on this big projection TV, you know, like
Yeah.
you know, and so I was like, and he had the stereo sound and everything. Like it was for a 4-year-old. I mean, it was like holy, you know, like, and so after that, it wasn't maybe a few days after that. My mom, and I went to Kroger to do some grocery shopping, and you know, it was coming into the summer.
Are you a? I forget. I don't remember. Before you moved to UK, were you a Southern boy or were you a Northern?
Yeah, it was in Nashville.
Okay. I just to get
No,
it.
that's fine. So they were
When you mentioned Kroger, I just had.
Yeah. Kroger next to the Super X pharmacy.
Right. Gotcha.
And it's the same strip mall. So strip plaza. So we go in there and
Same strip club. Gotcha.
as everybody remembers who lived it,
Yeah.
they sold Star Wars figures everywhere. Like even when they didn't sell other toys in other stores, in these other stores, they would have a section for Star Wars figures because they knew they would move. And they had a cardboard sort of like 2-row, it was either 2 or 3 rows, end cap aisle thing there. That it was purpose built for Return of the Jedi figures. They had changed the branding in anticipation of the movie coming out, and they were promoting it.
Right.
And they had figures all, you know, sitting there. And I know from my memory that was early days rebranding months before the movie came out, because there were no figures in there that I didn't recognize. And remember, I'd only seen the one movie.
Right.
So they had R2-D2, Chewbacca, you know, like now I didn't see Luke Skywalker. So I picked out
Which is probably because it was sold out.
Right.
I'll bet that was the primary,
I didn't see any of the human-faced characters because they were always hard to get, and but I didn't know that at the time. I know that in hindsight. So I picked out Chewbacca, and my mom bought R2-D2 for my brother when they picked him up from preschool or whatever. My brother would, of course, go play with R2-D2 in the bathtub and ruin his sticker within minutes. Right? So I eventually ended up with my own R2s throughout the years. You know, Kenner would send those baggy figures to your house and stuff. So I acquired a few more sensor scope R2s, a few other ways.
I was just going to say, did you have like the original R2s or were they all sensor
That
scope?
R2 had been phased out by that point because it got phased out during Empire.
Gotcha.
So we had the sensor scope R2.
I had to get all the variations myself.
Oh, well, see, I didn't even know that some of those variations existed until I got to know the next door neighbor's kids.
I had the benefit of being older. So.
Right. Well, the older brother was older, and so a lot of those, like the white X-wing and stuff like that, they would surface, and like a C-3PO whose arms and legs didn't come off, and I was like, oh wow, they actually made that, you know, like so I was around those toys, but I could never buy them because they were gone. Like they.
I do have to say that is.
So the arms, legs didn't come off. You mean like Broken Vader?
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, what I was going to say about that was that's the one thing I like about the modern figures.
Mm-hmm.
The Disney Shop Disney Droid Factory, whatever you call them, all of them are removable limbs.
Yep.
So it's like if you have your old 1970s Droid Factory, you can put pieces in there, and
100%.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, that's kind of what kicked it off, and then, I was in preschool at the time, and I remember, I tell my mother, you know, like, oh, there's a kid at school that has a character named Boba Fett. He looks really awesome. Can you find me Boba Fett? And then I would see the Toyota Corona drive up to pick me up with my mom driving, stick shift, and I'd open the passenger door, and there on that, you know, oatmeal colored cloth seat was Boba Fett on card, and and he was still a jetpack. It was the jetpack, image of him, but it had the Jedi logo on it, which is one of the rarer, variations. So it's because they transitioned the photos.
Right.
But I was like a late Empire, early Jedi adopter of the line, and so like for example, my 5th birthday was at Showbiz Pizza Place, and one of the figures that I got was Lobot, and he was on an Empire card. Like he wasn't on a Jedi card. So I started to figure out that they had, changed all this stuff over time. So it was fascinating, time period in my life. I mean, it was really, fond memories, and sometimes my mom would kind of, I guess she'd happen upon like a sale at a toy store or something, or maybe like like a Hills or something like that. And so sometimes she'd pull up in my dad's pickup truck, and I'd open the door to the cab, and there I remember one time it was all lined up on the seat. It was like Obi-Wan, and he was the photo with the yellow lightsaber with the black back.
Yes.
And it was like some of the earlier Jedi figures that had the blobs on the back trying to hide the Ewoks from
Right.
stuff like that. It was like, oh wow, who's Klaatu? And all this kind of stuff. And then we went and saw the movie, when it came out, the Jedi movie. But yeah, like first Christmas with Star Wars would have been '83, and that was when I asked for the X-wing fighter, and my parents ended up getting me the Y-wing fighter as well, which
I didn't have a Y-wing.
The Y-wing fighter was such a great toy. And then they got me the Ewok Village, which the only reason they got me that was because it was the only playset being offered in the line. Like there wasn't a Death Star at that point. Like there was no.
Yeah.
I would have chosen a Death Star all day, but I didn't even know that the thing existed for a few years. So it was good times, and I got the Millennium Falcon for my 6th birthday that next July. And it came in the box that had the desert photo on it. It was like the
yeah.
I had that, and I had we called it the chicken walker. I had the chicken walker, and I had the speed.
Right.
Right. Jabba the Hutt was one of my early birthday presents. That would have been a gift that I got Jabba, I think, before Christmas of '83. So like, and then I had the Rancor for my birthday in '84. So I was able to pull those together, and it was good times. There were certain things though that I loved because other kids had them, but I could never. I didn't have a car, and I was in grade school. Like, you don't really go to toy stores as often as you remember, and so like I was obsessed with the snow speeder, but I never got to have one as a kid. I had to play with everybody else's. Next door neighbor had the AT-AT Walker. I loved it, but I never had one to play with on my own. The kid across the other side of the brook, the creek, whatever, the houses, the backs faced each other. He had the Star Destroyer with the Darth Vader meditation chamber.
Oh, that goofy thing.
Wedge of cheese. So I had the Force yellow tube lightsaber.
Wait. The blow up one?
No. I had
I had the blow up one.
Right, and then for Empire they changed it to that whistle tube. Right. So I had that, and I also had the laser pistol, the Han Solo pistol. Had that. Then my next door neighbor stole that, but I didn't know that until a long time later. He was a jerk.
Obviously.
Yeah. So yeah, I had really, really great Star Wars toy memories, and the only thing that I'll add to that is you've already seen the Star Wars Follies of it, because Star Wars Follies typically are my childhood perspectives on vintage Star Wars. Like that's how I felt, and I really did at the time. Because my mom confessed later when I was an adult. Like, she got way out of the blast zone before she confessed this. She confessed that she didn't bother to look for weapons when she vacuumed, and she heard them get sucked up.
Wow.
So that's where a lot of my blasters went. And I was like, I'd go back and look, and I'd be like, where'd all my stuff? You know, like, I know it couldn't have gone far.
That's
You
killer.
know, and so the fact that so many of the Return of the Jedi era figures came with these sticks and staves and spears.
That they didn't use in the movies.
Now, the only benefit was you didn't lose them. The problem is that they weren't interesting. They weren't fun to play with.
Exactly. They're not action accessories.
Right.
Yeah.
So like when I saw, I had the read-along book for Empire because Empire didn't come out on video cassette until like winter of '84. So I had no way to see that movie yet, right? So when I finally saw it, became my favorite movie of all time, like instantly. But even prior to that, because I had the read-along book, I was going out there trying to get all of the Empire figures, and they were in early '84 with Jedi just pouring those Muppets, you know, into the action figure.
Yeah, right.
It was really hard to find those, and so, you know, some of the last figures I was able to acquire before the Power of the Force came out. But some of the last mainline figures I was able to finally track down, thanks to my mom and everything, was the Hoth, Han, and Luke. No, Luke was my first Luke. Forget that. The Hoth, Han, and the Bespin Luke were hard for me to find. The normal Han, Luke, and Leia took a while to find.
Right.
When we finally found Luke and Han, they both. This is how late in the game we found them. They were on the photo revision cards, so they didn't have the original photos. They had the gunner photo and the photo of him in the hallway of the Death Star with the rifle or the stormtrooper gun. So it was a funny, interesting road through Kenner Star Wars at that time. I had the Bespin Micro. I had 2 out of the 3 sets because they were on clearance at Toys R Us.
This is the big difference for us. Because you're younger, you did get into those micros. I had already been. I'm done. I didn't get a single one of those.
Well, they were red tagged. They were already on their way out. It
was too little, too late in a way. The time to bring those out would have been back in the early part when they brought out the die cast Millennium Falcon and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then one of my biggest memories from all this is I had to go get allergy shots. An allergy shot regimen, it was like 15 shots in each arm to start this this allergy shot thing. Well, I didn't know what I was in for, but my mom did, and so she felt I guess she felt extra guilty what was about to happen to me that day, and it was like I didn't have to go to school, which was great because it was that convent school. So I was like, oh,
did you go to Catholic school too?
Yeah, I've told you this before.
Do you have Catholic flashbacks where people hand you a ruler and you go no
rulers, paddles, all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
I was a convent, like turn of the century convent. It was old.
Dude, I was an altar boy.
See?
It was a whole level of bad.
So we started the morning going to Toys R Us. Now, I should have
tipped you off.
Yeah, I should have been suspicious, but at least my mom was being really nice. And I'll never forget going into that aisle because remember back then, the really big toys for every line, they would have a loose example almost zip tied to a bulletin board above the aisle.
I had almost forgotten that. They don't do that anymore.
They don't do that anymore. Yeah, you're on your own as a consumer now. So we went in there and we go to the Star Wars aisle because, as you remember, back then Star Wars had its own aisle. It
did.
Boom.
The whole aisle was just filled. Yeah.
So this would have been 85. This would have been early 85, and she said, "I want to buy you a toy today." And I said, "Oh, like a figure?" Because I was used to her occasionally getting me a figure. She goes, "No." She called them rides. She was a southern woman. She's still alive. She's southern. She said, "No, let's get you
I
a
actually
ride."
like that term. That's a
Yeah.
good term.
Yeah, let's get you a ride. I was like, "A ride? I get to have a ride?" She goes, "Yeah, yeah." So, at home I had the X-Wing, the Y-Wing, the Falcon, the Chicken Walker, all that stuff. And we also had Darth Vader's TIE Fighter at home because we got it in the collector series
Right.
thing, right? That's how I got the Land Speeder as well. I chose between the Land Speeder and the Dewback, and I chose the Land Speeder.
Fair.
The collectors, I got that at a Target. So anyway, we're looking, and I noticed that a lot of the vehicles had big red clearance tags on them. And they were fully stocked, like the inventory was fully stocked, but it was, and I realized in hindsight, it was because the Return of the Jedi stuff was finally pushed out. Now, she said, wow, with these prices, you could get a bigger ride. In other words, I didn't have to get a mini rig. I could get a vehicle, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh. Well, I looked over. On the right, they had the droids and Ewoks figures set up, and they also had the shelves with the Imperial shuttles, and then the Power of the Force Tatooine skiff.
Yeah.
Right? And they had the droids A-wing.
The A-wing, yeah.
But the A-wing and the skiff were new for 1985. They weren't red tagged.
Oh.
Now, the A-wing I think my mom would have gotten it for me anyway because of what I was about to go through. Like,
yeah.
But what threw me off, and this is kid perceptions, you can't help it.
Right.
I didn't like the droids cartoon. And the A-wing was done up in a weird artwork instead of the photography that they used for the other.
With the droids.
Right. So, like, remember when we would get Star Wars toys that were vehicles when we were kids throughout the 3 movies, the box art was always a photo of the toy,
right?
Not a drawing of the toy.
Right.
But this was like a drawing, and I was like, I don't know if that vehicle's. I didn't trust that the vehicle would look movie correct. I was like,
I get it.
So I didn't want the skiff because the skiff was just that was something to set those Muppets on. I was like, I don't want that.
Right.
So I didn't have the B-wing. And I loved the Rebels. And I was like, I want the B-wing fighter.
Right.
Well, I already had.
That was a good choice.
Yeah, and I already had the pilot at home. So win-win.
Yeah.
And we went home, and I got the pilot, and then she said, you can bring the fighter with you where we're going. And that's when my red alert went up. And I was like, what? And so I sat there.
Am I dying?
Right, and I sat there clutching that B-wing that was brand new while my mom held my head. And I didn't cry or anything, but they pulled out this tackle box full of syringes.
Yes.
And that guy started just going to town, and he was literally throwing them like ninja darts into the wall as he was trying to go as fast as he could. But it was vivid memories like that. Vivid memories, and Star Wars toys are always orienting those memories.
I dig it. I was at the age where I was, because I was older.
Mm-hmm.
And starting to age out of awareness of what was newest. I thought that they hadn't put out an A-wing. So when they put out an A-wing in the droids line, I completely missed it. Missed it. Right. Otherwise, I would have been totally looking for it. Tony says, one of my favorite Star Wars vehicles was the Imperial Troop Transport, and it didn't even appear in the movie. But then Rogue Planet points out, first season of Mandalorian canonized it, and that was when I got mine. I did not get mine, the original one with the sound and whatnot.
Right.
I didn't get it until Mandalorian came out, and it's actually pretty cool.
The vintage one, right?
Pardon me?
The vintage one? Yeah, the original.
No, I did not get the vintage.
Okay.
I got the Mandalorian one, and I'm okay with that because it swaps out the electronics for making it a little bit larger, giving you access to the interior, and I ended up using it in my role-playing game just last week.
Nice. Yeah, I have the, when I was trying to fill out my Empire Strikes Back toys in 2008, because prices were good, everything like that. I wanted all the Empire stuff that I missed out on, you know, like Tauntauns and Snow Speeders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I ended up getting the Empire version called the Imperial Cruiser, which was a troop transport without the electronics. And it had a slightly different sticker and deco scheme. I think it was like
that one kind of went under my radar. I didn't know about that until
it was like a Sears or JCPenney exclusive or something like that. But then later on, a supporter of the channel, he and his son just surprised and gifted me a fully functioning original vintage transport. So I've got them both sitting in.
Yeah, and didn't you do like a video where you had to fix the sound?
I fixed the one for Tom Burgess, who runs I Grew Up Star Wars. I fixed his one, his childhood one.
There you go. Yeah. I found that incredibly. Like I said, I never had one, but I found it very interesting to see how the interiors worked in that. So here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm 18 minutes past the midpoint, or what we usually count as the midpoint. I'm going to go ahead and play the promos because I want you guys to see what we got coming up this week, especially for the members. And while we're doing that, I'm going to drop out of the studio. So Boomer and Netter, you might have to kind of fill in for me. I'm going to try and upload the video that Nate sent. It's relevant and it's worth it. So I want to do that. So be back. The promos are about 3 minutes, so we'll be right back on the other side. Give me just a second. Where's the there we go.
You are watching Last Call, streaming every Friday night at 9 Central, 10 Eastern. Come on in, pull up a chair, and have a drink with us.
This week on Saturday Night at the Movies, the magically long-haired Rapunzel has spent her entire life in a tower, but now that a runaway thief has stumbled upon her, she is about to discover the world for the first time and who she really is. Mandy Moore and Zachary Levi voice the classic Disney characters in the 2010 Disney classic, Tangled. Join us this Saturday at 9 Central, 10 Eastern on Big Al Presents Films with Friends.
Every Monday night is Members Night at the Movies on Last Call. Members enjoy an exclusive watch party just for them, and you can join too for as little as $1.99 a month. This Monday is the real Star Wars Day, so Troy has offered a poll to the members. Would they prefer to see the original theatrical release of Star Wars again, or the primary inspiration for Star Wars, the 1958 Kurosawa epic, The Hidden Fortress? Currently, Kurosawa is in the lead, but voting will continue through the weekend, so members, please go to the community tab and vote. And if you're not a member, please consider it. It really helps support what we do here at Last Call. Thanks.
Every Tuesday brings mystery to our affiliated channels, starting at 6 p.m.
You are watching Last for them, and you can join too for as little as $1.99. Theatrical release of Star Wars again, or the primary inspiration for Star Wars, the 1958 Kurosawa epic, The Hidden Fortress. Currently, Kurosawa is in the lead, but voting will continue through the weekend, so members, please go to the community tab and vote. And if you're not a member, please consider it. It really helps support what we do here at Last Call. Thanks.
Every Tuesday brings mystery to our affiliated channels, starting at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, when Deleted Scenes with Stephen Otten reviews an unreleased film with his critic associates, and you'll never know who or which until you tune in. Then, at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern, it's live from Sparkwood, and 21 for a watch party, review and analysis of the mysterious town of Twin Peaks. Then, finally, Last Call with Troy Pacelli transports you back to Victorian England for an adventure with the premier detective himself, Sherlock Holmes. Join us every Tuesday for mystery and intrigue on all our affiliated channels.
Did you top off your glasses? We now return to Last Call.
Is this my show? I guess this is my show.
Sorry, Troy's trying to get his.
Hold on, guys. I
to mute myself everywhere. Mute yourself, Netter.
Hello? Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you.
Did you mail in for that Belloc figure with the Indiana Jones
action? I unfortunately I saw the Indiana Jones figures in Toys R Us one time, like when they were actually being sold, not when they'd been canceled, and couldn't find Indy, and so I just didn't go for it. Yeah.
You want to hear my Indy figure story? You'll love this. So I had purchased the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Well, at least my parents got it for me. When my allowance money. Anyway, but it was very hard to find Indiana Jones. You could find Indiana Jones in the German soldier disguised outfit, but you couldn't find him in his regular outfit because he was always sold out.
Yep.
A couple years later, I'm in a KB bargain bin. They have all the Indiana Jones figures in like this bargain bin, and I find an Indiana Jones in the package.
Nice.
And I bought it. I brought it home, and the first thing I told myself is, it comes with one of these little guns. Do not lose this little gun. Put it in the holster, fine. I kid you not, later that afternoon, it was gone.
Of course. Okay? Of course it was.
The whip was ridiculous. It was not like a molded plastic whip. It was like a piece of string coming out of this little piece of plastic.
Yep.
I brought him... And I lost that too, the whip. That took longer to lose, though.
Right.
Then I made the mistake of bringing it to school one day, where on the on the playground, two of my friends decided to play a game of Monkey in the Middle with it, and of course he falls on the asphalt and breaks his leg.
Right.
And that's my horrible my Indiana Jones figure story.
Makes sense.
But yes, I did have that because I liked the Raiders of the Lost Ark figures. That was my big thing after the Star Wars toys. But they just didn't take off like the Star Wars toys. I had the truck.
Yep.
From that, I had the Well of the Souls.
Yep.
I had
the horse.
The horse. I think I had the horse. I don't know that there was much beyond the Well of the Souls. Oh no, there was also the temple where he puts the ruby and the jewel and the thing.
The staff of Ra. The staff of Ra.
The staff of Ra set. I had that set too.
The jewel. Yes. I swear, dude, you've been spending too much time with that pillowcase. What is going on?
This is old memories. I'm trying to think of when I was a kid, man.
He's judging you right now. He is judging you. I bet you recognize that face, don't you?
Rui Suzamaya. I still have yet to watch season 2 because I heard it was a troll in the audience. But
I'm just simply saying I did that for you, Boomer.
I just really quick wanted to bring up Boomer's icon. Yes. That's Yoda on a tractor. That's a very Boomer kind of icon.
It's a pity because I had gotten into Legos later on, but they weren't doing the licensed sets yet, so I didn't get like the Star Wars Legos. That was after.
Nice thing about Lego is you could always make your own stuff.
I tried making an Enterprise set, and it just didn't quite come together. I wanted a Starship Enterprise, but I was trying to do it out of my castle
working
pieces.
On Amigo scale Enterprise.
I was trying to do it out of my castle pieces and some of my space pieces, and it just didn't.
Yep, that's the way to go.
It didn't come together. I tried. I was trying to.
Netter was asking, yes, I'm on my 3rd kamikaze, and this is called a Kamikaze, I think it is. I'm not even sure why it's called that, but it swaps out.
Yeah, Kamikaze.
It swaps out the Curacao and the a triple sec for pomegranate juice. So it's
no, that's still a triple sec in it.
It still does.
Yeah, it just doesn't have the blue Curacao.
Mm-hmm.
It has.
That makes it pink, and it's still very booze forward, and I'm getting pretty looped. So that's why I had some.
I don't think it's as pink as I think it should be. It looks like a light purple to me.
That's fine. It's a very nice lilac color, but obviously 3 drinks in, I am looped. That's why I had some trouble with the the video I was trying to bring up. And so if you guys will indulge me, I do want to cut to Nate's memory real quick, and then we'll come back to ours. It's a good story.
Hello, Last Call viewers, it's me again. Well, since this Friday's topic is about Star Wars toys and our relation to them, I thought I would share a story with you. You see, I grew up pretty poor, but in the 80s, things kind of turned around, and I remember that Christmas where I got an X-Wing, a Luke Skywalker action figure, a Luke Skywalker in his X-Wing pilot suit, an R2-D2, and my older brother got a TIE fighter, its pilot, and Darth Vader. Talk about a great Christmas. And that started me and my brother on our journey. Over the years, we increased our Star Wars toy collection, multiple action figures, even vehicles. At one point, we had the Snowspeeder, the Imperial Walker, the Millennium Falcon, the Scout Walker, Luke's Landspeeder, speeder bikes, another TIE fighter, the Imperial Shuttle, and the whole battle play set. We were living the dream. But the person who owned the house we were living in sold it because they were developing that neighborhood in Washington, D.C. where we lived, so we had to move into a 2-bedroom apartment. My parents told us this was only temporary because the man my father worked for had a house he was willing to rent us, but it wasn't ready for people to move in yet, so we would have to stick it out in a 2-bedroom apartment for about a year. That meant all our stuff had to be put into storage. Lucky for my parents, one of my older brothers, who was a pastor, had a storage unit where my parents could store their things and wouldn't have to worry about paying a storage fee. So we packed up all our Star Wars gear, hauled it to my brother's church storage unit, and I looked back and said, "See you guys next year." And we moved into our apartment. About 3 to 4 weeks in our new apartment, I come home from school, but see my mother sitting at the table with both hands on her head. I asked her what was wrong, and she told me the storage unit caught fire, and we had no idea exactly what was lost or what we still had until her and my dad go take a look at it. I wanted to go with them, but they wouldn't let us. It was just the two of them. They came back about 3 to 4 hours later, but for me, it felt like forever. And they told me that half the unit had burnt down, which means we lost almost everything. And what wasn't close to the fire when it came to our toys? My dad said it was so hot that anything that didn't burn melted. Talk about world shattered. So that's my sad story that day. The Force was not with us. Well, that was my 2 cents. Didn't mean to bring a downer to the festivities for tonight. I think I'm going to go drown my sorrows. Geek Flag with Nate Nose signing off, and may the Force be with you.
I know. Thank you so much for that story, Nate. I super appreciate you sharing. I don't want this to sound like one-upsmanship, but I do have to... that is the perfect transition to my Star Wars story. Not how it started, but the transition. When Netter and I were dating, we met in 91, we got married in 92, and I think a lot of the people on the stream, a lot of the regulars, especially the members, I've already heard the anniversary stories and the whatnot, and how we got together and how my mom did not approve.
Nope.
And it was a real challenge. So when I say that I eloped, I really did elope. I took what I could carry or what I could get out of the house and moved. I got some of my comic books out, clothes, you know, some toiletries and whatnot. That's about it. Left behind all my Star Wars toys. And my mother was, let's just say she wasn't happy. And this was the same woman that when she realized I was still seeing Netter when she had forbidden me to see her, she tore down the picture of Jane Badler from V that I had up in my office. She tore it in half, and I was pissed. I was pissed, and that pretty much was what decided I was moving out and eloping. And I got what I could out, but I had to leave behind all my Star Wars toys. and I had almost everything in the 3 3/4 inch line. I had almost everything, and worth it, yes. But Netter said to me, she's tried to live up to it, and I've tried to hold her back from it sometimes. I'll replace everything that you had to leave behind. And she's been good to her word. She's been, when I say she's my enabler, because she buys all the Star Wars toys and stuff that I want, she's trying to be true to her word, but sometimes I gotta say, you know what? It's not that crucial. But I had everything. I had everything. The only thing I probably didn't have, my mother was really bad about, you've already got Princess Leia at home. You can't have the Bespin outfit. You can't have the Hoth outfit. You can't have the Endor outfit. You've already got Princess Leia. You've already got Luke Skywalker in, the original Farm Boy. You don't get Bespin. You don't get.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't get a lot of I didn't have Han Solo in Hoth gear.
Yeah, I didn't understand variations.
I didn't get a lot of the variations.
Dude, I had more variants than you did, and I wasn't even a big collector because I had the Jedi Luke, and I got a hand-me-down of the New Hope Luke from a cousin who gave me a bunch of the Star Wars.
And this is partly why Netter is so forgiving when I go, there's a new figure out, and it's got more articulation, and yes, I already have this figure, but, I kind of want it. There you go. You had the updated. I had the original.
I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you over the sound of my childhood X-wing. Sorry. What?
No. Bring it up. Bring it up. Because you've got the battle damage that you can't remove. Congratulations.
Well, I've got them all now. So this is just the childhood one because this is childhood memories. So I'm bringing out the childhood stuff.
I don't suppose you have the batteries in that, do you?
No, I don't have the batteries in it because I keep it on display. But,
so we don't hear it going, wah, wah,
wah. That's my childhood Luke still piloting it.
That's right. So. Who was generic enough that he could stand in for Biggs and Wedge and all the other.
Right.
What am I looking at?
What Geek Flag is saying.
Oh, let me bring that up. Troy, I'm sorry, man. But my story is much sadder. As a child, I lost all my Star Wars toys. Answer, grown man, you lost yours. No. Yeah, mine was a choice. I had the choice, and I had to leave them behind. I'm just saying, man.
So you're saying you chose the love of your life over your toys?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And I want to say hi to a great supporter of the channel, the Peter Venkman fan site, Peter Venkman fangirl. Welcome. I'm so glad she is so wonderful about sharing out the streams. Even when she doesn't stop in to say hi, she's sharing out the streams, and I super appreciate her.
Hey, Boomer.
Yes.
I'm getting a call in here from your girlfriend. She wants to talk to you.
Oh God.
Dude, I barely remember that anime. Wasn't it like the Twilight Zone episode with the kid that could create anything out of his mind, and he had godlike powers, so they had to keep Rui Suzumaya fascinated.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
The world. Anyway, you know something. Considering I'm a redhead too, I don't appreciate that comment. Okay.
I gotta say this. We haven't even gotten into this element of it, but I scored a Palatoy X-Wing cheap. No lights and sounds, though. They cheaped out. I agree with you that's kind of cheaped out, but in a way, kind of better. Because honestly, you have those batteries in there, and you leave them, and they corrode, and they screw up everything, and the sound effects were terrible. That annoying sound didn't sound anything like. And you know what? I would have preferred a Palatoy. I honestly would have. If I had it to do over, and I could get a Palatoy, I'd and then I could put my own LED light in there, do my own customizing. Just my thought. But so that brings us back to what I said in my monologue about the who had the Death Star.
I did.
You had the Kenner Death Star, the multi-level.
Yep.
How about you, Michael?
He probably left that there to taunt me.
He's on mute, so he may have stepped away.
Anyway, let me tell you about
the reason was okay. First, let me.
No, I didn't have the Kenner Death Star. I bought it at a garage sale. I bought it at a convent school garage sale raise money for the school thing, from the kid whose older brother was the one who had it in his room when I walked in and didn't know what I was looking at. And so, like, I did context clues and realized, wait a minute, that's Kenner. Wait a minute, that's got to be a Death Star. When did they make a Death Star playset? Why can't I get a Death Star playset? And then a year later, they had that garage sale, and they sold that Death Star for $2, and I was the buyer. And I turned around, and I replaced all these parts on it, and that's the one that I restored on camera for retroblasting. So
wow.
that Death Star sitting up there, that's Parker McLaughlin's older brother's Death Star, but not anymore. It's mine now, bitches. It's mine now.
Yeah, it's the Death Star of Theseus, right?
So I had it in childhood, but it was missing parts and it was late in the game. I got it in like 86, like 87, something like that. Yeah. But I have it, and I had it as a kid. So
that's fair. I got it brand new, fresh in box.
Wow.
Because I was spoiled that way. Left it, and that was one of the things that I had to leave behind. Mm-hmm. And Netter got me one on eBay. Mm-hmm. And obviously I have no room to display it, but I've got the thing.
Right.
And I'm like, I really want to. And then I start looking and seeing what people have for 3D printing and stuff. And it's like, yeah, I think I'm going to recreate that, like floor to ceiling bookshelf type of thing, different levels, Oh, Master Son. Oh, good to see you around here. My toys were in the attic, and while I was at college, my mom sold the house. Oh. She had someone go get them out, but seems as if he kept them. Oh, wow. God, that's wow.
Horrible. That's horrible.
At least my mom took my stuff and sold it and kept the money herself. I think that was pretty bitchy of her, but that's a whole other thing. So is that an original Return of the Jedi? Yep.
Yeah, this is we had two because I had a brother and I have both of them here. I can always tell that this one's mine because it has a little. It's going to be hard. It has a little broken off detail right there. A little detail. So this is, but it's still got its flaps and everything like that, and it's the childhood original speeder bike. So
and it blows up too, doesn't it?
It blows up. Yep. You hit this little button on the back, and the whole thing goes crazy. Yep.
I'm actually surprised that you display it like that because the springs are getting stretched out.
You talking about on these things? Or are you talking about on the release?
No, I'm talking about the springs that cause it to flip apart.
Oh, well, but what's the point of having it just sitting in pieces on a shelf?
I know. I'm just saying.
You know what? I have confidence that if the springs wear out, I can replace the springs. I'll do whatever I have to do.
That's fair. Yeah. I dig it. I honestly though, even as a kid, when I got that, it bothered me that it was 5 POA and you had these legs sticking straight out in front of them.
Oh yeah, it's stupid. It's stupid, but it's it's what.
That's why I got way too friggin' many of those during the Power of the Force because they could, lean forward.
Bend their legs. Yeah. They still had to. They didn't compromise on the position of the grips though. So
right.
So they still had these huge hands that were like grabbing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny.
There's and you've done some videos about this too, the 90s Power of the Force figures.
Yeah.
That was for all of us that grew up with those. That was nostalgia bait, absolutely. But at the same time, they sold figures that they didn't put out in the original series.
Right.
And you're like, I can get that Dagobah Luke.
Right.
That looks more like Mark Hamill than
right.
the cartoony one that they did back in the 70s. You know.
Yeah. They're trying to. Which one was the Dagobah Luke? Was the one that's just in the tank top, right?
Right.
Yeah, because they didn't make him in the Kenner. And the other one that I kind of got way excited about when the 90s line came out, I don't know why. I got really excited that they came out with the spy and Mos Eisley with the long snout.
Right.
Like, oh, they're doing him. Like, I don't know why.
I hated the molded plastic capes.
Oh, those sucked. Those were terrible.
Darth Vader and the spy and so many others. I have since, look, you can say what you want about the super ultra buff figures. I kind of like the ultra buff Darth Vader and Chewbacca. Those two deserve to be buff.
The Chewbacca, he is a little Sasquatch though. Like there's a
yes,
little,
he is, and I like it.
I just feel like the Darth Vader I'm with you on. The Chewbacca, he's looking a little. I mean, now he looks a lot closer to say how Chewbacca was drawn on the cover of a Marvel comic in the 70s.
That's true. That's very true. You know? I would also say you might let's be fair. You might also be reacting to the fact that if you take that Chewbacca and that Han Solo, you can't fit them together in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon.
Horrible.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I've got a video about that myself. But...
Horrible. Yeah.
So before I get into how I started with the Star Wars toys, Age of Boomer, you kind of fall between me and Michael. So what was your history with these?
Here's what it is. Star Wars came out in 1977, basically around now, like a little after I was born. So Star Wars was always in the background in my childhood. I don't know what my first toys were. I know I was getting toys around the time of Jedi, and then I ended up getting, like I said, I got a big box of hand-me-down Star Wars toys from my cousin, and that's where I got the Death Star from. Because I think that was the only set for the big figures I had. It's hard for me to really think about the time frame, but I remember I was playing with them up till like age 6 before I moved on to other things. Because I think my 6th birthday was the last birthday I got Star Wars toys. I remember that. I remember getting those miniature sets that my dad got me. The ones with the Cloud City, the Battle on Hoth, and the Death Star miniature sets, and I loved those. I know you were more about the larger figures.
Yeah.
I actually liked the miniature sets with the metal miniature stormtroopers and Luke and all that. They were neat. You could do things in the sets like you could press a button and throw Luke out of the window on Bespin. I remember that. My dad also got me a die-cast miniature Millennium Falcon, which I think was part of from the New Hope days, where that was like they decided those weren't going to sell. I don't know if they made any others. They might have done one for a X-wing or a TIE fighter as well. But I had the Millennium Falcon.
They did.
What else was there? I also, for some reason, I didn't have a ton of Empire toys. I don't think I had any, if I'm thinking back to it, except for those miniature sets, because I didn't really start getting the figures until Return of the Jedi, and then I'd gotten hand-me-downs, or you could find. I don't know if they were re-releasing the Star Wars A New Hope toys when Jedi came out, or some stores just had them like in bargain area.
The only things that didn't get re-released were certain vehicles and playsets didn't get like the figures. The figures got rebranded on Jedi cards. They weren't as prevalent in the assortments, but you could still get them. The vehicles though. Only the mainline vehicles kind of kept going, like the X-Wing, the Falcon, the TIE Fighter.
Right.
And even the TIE Fighter eventually, despite getting an upgrade at the first year of Jedi to blue, it eventually got phased out by the TIE Interceptor. So, these kind of things, they cascade. Yeah.
I was weird. I had what was it, the Y-Wing? I had one of those, or it was the one...
Yeah.
Or I had one of those. I'm trying to remember back. I had like the mini skiff from the not of course the big for Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
I had from A New Hope though. I got one of those lizard creatures. The
the
stormtroopers.
Dewback.
I had one of those because I saw that in a store.
Yeah.
And I was surprised to see that even as a kid because I'm like, wow. Because I think at that point I still knew Star Wars was older, and you
would have gotten it with the collector series badge on the box.
Maybe that's what it was.
It probably was because that would have been '83. So
that might have been what it was. Maybe that's what it was, and I figured, well, that's cool because I have some New Hope figures. Let's go with that. But I remembered, I was like you. I caught the original Star Wars off of cable, and I kept wondering, where's the green guy? Because I had vague memories of a green guy because I think my dad took the whole family to see Empire when it came out, but I was 3 years old, so I fell asleep during that movie. I only had vague memories of it, and then Jedi was the big movie, so I like you, I kind of missed Empire. I would have storybooks that would fill in some of the gaps, but I went from New Hope to Jedi like that, and I'm trying to think though. But yeah, that was my big Star Wars experience. I remember having a very cool bounty hunter ship that had suction cup feet.
That's the Cap 2.
Yeah, and I had some bounty hunters that went in it. Was that the guy with the breather mask on him? I think I put him in there.
That would have been Forlom, or well, officially he's Zuckuss, but Kenner boys call him Forlom because they switched the names.
Okay.
Yes, they did.
And then I'm trying to think. I always wanted a Boba Fett ship. What was it? Slav 1. I wanted that.
Slave 1.
Slave 1. Well, as a kid, I didn't think.
Let's not be afraid to call it Slave 1. I don't care what Lucas.
Well, I don't know. I don't call it that anymore. I'm just saying.
Look. Slav 1 is offensive to Russian people, so you need to not say that.
This was during the Cold War. No one cared at that point.
Slave. It ends in an E. It's slave.
I was a kid. Okay.
I would not touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Harahime,
that's not funny,
judging
dude.
you. Harahimi's judging you.
Anyway, what was I going to say? I'm trying to think if there were any other Star Wars toys I had. I had a stuffed R2-D2 with legs that were velcroed on, and you could take them off.
I remember that.
And you could touch his thing in the middle of his face, and he would do the beep beep. And I remember getting an R2-D2
I would
shampoo
beep
dispenser.
if you touched the thing in the middle of mine too.
I think that was it. I didn't have a ton of Empire stuff except for, like I said, those miniature sets. I had the Hoth set. I had the Bespin set. The miniature sets I was very into. I'm not sure why. I think it's because maybe you got a complete set and you're all in it came with the figures, even though they were really just miniature figures.
Troy, I think Boomer's telling us that he had problems with articulation.
I agree. Yes, I was getting that too. Yeah.
But I do want to tell one last story though, as a kid with me. I had the Darth Vader action figure. I don't know if that was the New Hope Darth Vader action figure. This is another thing when I'm in the I think I'm in kindergarten or the first grade. It might have been first grade, and I bring it on the playground.
Darth Vader never changed.
What?
Darth Vader never changed.
Okay, so who knows what it was from? It could have been one of the hand-me-down ones I got. I have it on the playground with me, and then a bunch of 6th graders come over to me. And I'm like, uh-oh, what do they want? And they said, he has a Vader. They brought me over, and because I had a Vader, I was allowed to play with the 6th graders. Because because apparently they didn't have it. They needed a Darth Vader to do their reenactment or whatever they were doing. I guess this was right before Jedi came out, or did Jedi come out during the summer?
Yes, May 25th, 1983.
Why do I remember it as a... Oh, wait a minute. It must have had legs, and it kept playing even into the winter.
Oh, yes, it did.
Okay, that's why I'm getting confused, because you're right. That was a May.
Again, this was the earliest days of home media. So movies that were selling out tickets, they kept in theaters. Yep.
I had the Jabba the Hutt set. Remember the Jabba the Hutt, and it came with that thing you could put the figures in underneath them. I had the Rancor monster. The Rancor monster was a request. I remember saying, I want that. I want the Rancor. I remember saying that. And I wanted a Grimorian guard to put in his hand so he could eat it, So I remember that, yeah. But that's about the extent of it. Like I said, I moved on to Indiana Jones like the following year because I thought, oh, this is the new thing now since they're not doing any more Star Wars. And then... they did nothing for Temple of Doom except they had those weird large figures that I did not want, and I'm like, okay.
Oh,
that was
dude.
LJN.
What?
That was LJN. That wasn't Kenner.
Yeah.
The game company?
Michael has videos about all of the Indiana Jones.
Another thing LGN screwed up.
Go check them out. Go check them out. Absolutely.
LGN made some horrendous video games.
You're right.
Michael has videos about Indiana Jones figures that weren't Indiana Jones figures. Definitely go check them out. Go check them out.
No, it's LJN was making toys before they were making video games.
Makes sense.
They were responsible for the Dune toys. They were responsible for the Thundercats. They were responsible for yeah.
Their problem was they were late to the game on most things and in the wrong scale.
Yes. Yeah.
That was the problem with LJN.
They made a good Alien 3 game. I like the Alien 3 game.
And they hated thumbs for some reason.
See, this is why I cannot pin down Boomer's age.
He is anachronistic, isn't he?
He will sit there and be like, "Yeah, I know, I'm between you and Troy in age," and then he's like, "I thought LJN was a video game company." I'm like, "Are you like a millennial that was born in like '89?"
No, I'm a young Gen. Okay, let me
understand. This is part of the problem with us older folks.
Okay.
We're oftentimes late to the game on things, so you might mistake our talk, our rhetoric for younger because we're just slow is all it is.
I was a weird kid, okay? In fact, I think
No.
I think
Wait,
now
you're
they
a
would
weird
label
adult.
I realize now that what I was what they call a monster kid, which I didn't realize was a thing.
Nice.
But when I was able to get my hands on the Universal Monsters action figures, I was very excited, though I was annoyed that they didn't have sets for them because I wanted sets. Got really into those, and I like those Mad Scientist kits. I don't know if you remember those at all.
Yeah.
With the alien autopsy where you could rip the guts out of the alien with the slime. I like the real Ghostbusters story because again, it's still monsters, it's ghosts and stuff. So I really got into that stuff after Indiana Jones. In fact, Indiana Jones I think was the stepping stone because of there were mummies in the Well of the Souls, and I did research on what's the mummy. And then I watched the Boris Karloff mummy movie, and from there I moved on to other horror movies. So, I'm tracing my trajectory. That's interesting.
I want to welcome Jamie Lynn, and Elsa Lancaster was a babe. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, wait a minute. Who was that? The Bride?
Elsa Lancaster, the Bride of Frankenstein.
The one who I liked the most actually was the Baron Frankenstein's niece from Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman. I liked her the best. But
she was, well, and let's face it, Jennifer Beal as the bride. I'm not,
I'm trying to think, though.
She was the best thing about the L World. I never saw that. What am I talking about?
I had trouble getting into the toys after that, though. I should have given G.I. Joe a chance. I think I would have. I think if I'd given G.I. Joe a chance, I would have liked it because I remember being over a friend's house and saying these vehicles remind me of Star Wars vehicles. These are very cool toys. So
in fairness, Boomer, you didn't know, and knowing is half the battle.
My favorite, Michael. My favorite cartoon show of that era was only on Nickelodeon. It was called The Mysterious Cities of Gold. That was my big favorite cartoon.
I'm aware of it. I'm aware of it. I'm also aware that you bypassed G.I. Joe and got into a different kind of O-ring. And Harry played too.
Okay.
He knows.
Dude, man. Look, man. You don't understand. It was the collector's sets on the right stuff were cheaper than the normal DVDs. I thought I'm getting a bargain. I'll get this neat swag, and I was like, why am I getting pillowcases?
Oh God!
And I'm like,
then you realized why. You were like, oh
no.
I had Empire Strikes Back pillowcases. Boomer, on the other hand, 15 years later.
You know what?
I had the original Star Wars.
Right.
Sheets.
I had Star Wars sheets and I had Jedi sheets.
Window dressing, I had the whole bit.
I still have a sheet set, pillowcase set, and I think maybe the comfort set that I am trying to sell.
But when did you get them? Was it after we got married?
I didn't get before we got married, dear. I got them for you.
So let's pivot to Netter. Netter is your whole history centered around me? I mean, let's just be honest here.
I probably saw Star Wars in the theaters when it came out. But I wasn't like, into the toys and all that stuff because I was a girl and girls weren't supposed to have toys like that. Those were boy toys.
That's why they made the 12-inch Princess Leia, though.
Oh, please.
I know.
But since then, yeah, everything Star Wars is you.
It's kind of true. She's my enabler, and I corrupted her in that regard.
Yeah, in fact, we have a 6-foot Millennium Falcon that we got because I'm his enabler.
Those of you, we were talking about those Power of the Force 2, when Toys R Us was doing the promos, they had the vacuform Millennium Falcon hanging in their stores. That was called the Millennium Falcon Extraordinaire. Netter got me one. I'm working on customizing the interior for the action figures. So, I guess that brings it around to me. I am the oldest Star Wars fan. Not the oldest person on the panel, but the oldest, original Star Wars fan. I was, let's see, Star Wars was 77.
Yes.
I would have been about 6 years old when it came out. I was the perfect demographic for that. And I saw it the year that it came out, that summer. I didn't see it like, March, April. No, it came out in May. May, June. I didn't see it until like July. At a drive-in, my uncle took me. And I couldn't stop talking about it. And I was just fired up about it. And I wanted those action figures. And couldn't find them. And this predates the internet, so I didn't know about the early bird special. So when I finally did get them the following year for Christmas, and I saw on the back that Luke had a telescoping lightsaber. Well, wait a minute, my Luke Skywalker doesn't have a telescoping lightsaber. Why is that? Only come to find out that was something that was I missed out on that. Because that was, you only got that if you got the early bird special.
Right.
That I didn't know about. So I also didn't get that display that I saw pictures of.
Right.
Oh.
So this is part of the whole nostalgia thing for adult Troy. When Hasbro puts out, the display, without the pegs. You got to supply your own pegs. That's fine.
Right.
I'm like, you know what? I want that damn thing. When I see Stan Solo is putting out telescoping lightsabers, fuck it, I'm going to get all 4 colors of them.
Right.
And I'm going to use them in my vintage, figures, Sure. I mean, there's a green one, and there was no telescoping green one, but why not? I have to admit, I didn't realize at the time, but I was spoiled. I got the Death Star playset when it was new, in box. It's one of the things I left behind. So Netter got me a replacement on eBay. Actually, I think she got me 2, which is nice because so many of the pegs broke off. You got to be able to.
Yep.
The AT-AT. I wanted the AT-AT so bad. I had the curse of the birthday closest to Christmas.
Yep.
So January 8th was my birthday.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. So, but I'm in good company. I share the birthday with Elvis Presley and David Bowie and Shirley Bassey and Dr. Stephen Hawking. So that's not so bad. But Christmas comes around, and I'd been asking Santa for the AT-AT. Didn't get it. Because apparently my mother felt that I was not a good boy that year.
Uh-oh.
What I did get was the AMT Ertel model kit of it, which hurt.
Yeah.
That hurt. And my mother knew exactly what she was doing when she got that for me.
Cruel and unusual.
Yes. But imagine my shock when, come January 8th, the big gift that I got was the AT-AT. She's like, I hope you learned your lesson. I'm like, I did.
Right.
I don't know what the hell I did wrong, but I learned not to piss you off.
Right.
You know, but so I had the AT-AT, and so I was real big on replacing all these things during the Power of the Force era.
Right.
Now, Michael, you're a big vintage kind of guy.
Oh yeah.
Do you prefer vintage over slight improvements that we saw in the Power of the Force and maybe later Hasbro?
I actually really like what they did with certain aspects. Like I loved the fact that when they updated the TIE Fighter, they got rid of those big wing panel stickers that always dog-eared and peeled off.
Yes, where it was textured instead, yeah.
Right. And I don't really have a problem with them gutting the electronics. I think the electronics are just a pain point, and
I agree.
Yeah. Now, that being said, while I admire the Power of the Force stuff, and I've had some of it in my hands over the years as far as duplicate, like I had the Power of the Force A-Wing for many years before I had the original one.
Yeah.
I think the Power of the Force A-Wing is stellar. I think there's nothing wrong with it. Did I eventually get a vintage one, and then did I eventually give away the Power of the Force one to a friend? I did, but it wasn't to denigrate or indicate any denigration of that toy. It was just I ended up collecting the vintage stuff. You know, I had the Power of the Force 2 AT-AT. I think it's a stellar redo on the Kenner AT-AT. I think it's awesome. But then when I got a vintage one complete and nice, I pushed that one along. Role-play toys. I thought the sound effects and the soundboards for the Power of the Force Stormtrooper blasters were stellar. I thought they were awesome.
I agree.
I hated the colors they put.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Power of the Force ones actually had the movie sound effects.
Right.
The problem was that the Power of the Force ones were made in these gaudy colors.
Yeah.
You know, they looked like Super Soaker colors. You know, it was
right, white with orange and shit.
Right. So like, ultimately, I would end up with stuff like this. You know, in my collection. You know, I want the original. But yeah, like I think the Power of the Force 2 stuff has the Kenner updates on a lot of those original molds for those various toys. I thought they did a stellar job on them. I have nothing bad to say about them. I love the way the Power of the Force 2 X-Wing, they finally, even though it was the Kenner mold, they incorporated the wing lift sound effect when you pushed R2 down. So you push him down.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, it was. There was some really neat stuff going on there. Like I really, and I'll say this much: the only vehicle I thought they did a disservice to with the updates was the Falcon. I think the Falcon was a misfire on the 1995 line, and they got it right with the original trilogy collection redo on it.
I agree.
Where they did all the LED and stuff properly, and that's a beautiful version of the Kenner mold. So yeah, I don't have the abject hatred for Power of the Force 2 like some people do. I'm actually grateful that it's still affordable, because one day I might end up recollecting some of it just because I remember
that was the upside of Power of the Force was Hasbro, and it was Hasbro at the time.
Right.
Released quantities because they wanted money.
Yeah.
And so because of that, it's available in the secondary market for reasonable prices.
Yep.
Whereas they've started their shenanigans now with, you know, they put up a 4-pack, you know, on Hasbro Plus. It sells out and you're fucked.
Right.
Fucked.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally. 100%.
It's like these companies hate making money.
Yeah. That's exactly what's going on. And it makes no sense. It absolutely makes no sense.
I think a lot of entertainment companies these days don't like making money.
They don't.
Don't get me started on Sega right now. I'm just...
Yeah, we have a whole game segment when we...
Well, no, I'm just mad that the CEO said, you're going to bring out a Sega Saturn Mini. We're not a retro company. Okay. Could you release some new games then? I'm just saying. Could you do something instead of release?
Yeah, what are you? If you're not a, you know,
I just, I get annoyed. Apparently, they did a sizzle reel with all this stuff in the works. We still haven't seen it come out except for the Shinobi game. They did that recently, but that was about it.
I love it how the oldest guy and the youngest guy on the stream are talking about like mail away Boba Fett, and this guy's talking about like Crash Bandicoot. I'm like, what?
Okay, I didn't own a PlayStation. I was a Nintendo 64 guy. Anyway,
wow.
Second,
we were all in college at that point. Holy shit!
I was in college when I got the Nintendo 6. Anyway,
Atari
what was I gonna...
2600.
Okay.
Commodore 64.
Wow, that's nice.
And then PCs.
Okay, dude. Okay, what was I going to say?
I'm an old fart. I know it. I admit it.
To bring it back to Star Wars, though, I did want to bring up, I had 2 Boba Fett's growing up. And one had a black belt and one had a brown belt. Which went with which movie? That's what I'm curious about.
Okay. Boomer, I got to get you off of this because you said that with the Darth Vader thing. Let me say it again. There were not material changes to baseline figures throughout the 3 films. There were simply factory variations on...
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but did they just paint the belt a different color?
They didn't paint... And what I'm saying is, you may very well have had a Boba Fett with a darker brown belt and a lighter brown belt, but those 2 things were not consciously done for Empire or Jedi.
Right.
They were mixed in the whole time Boba Fett was happening.
Oh, okay. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, see, this is like the multi.
They run out of black paint one day and they say just use the brown paint.
No. It was different.
I can illustrate. Stand by.
Whether or not you got it from Taiwan or China or, you know, some other country, there was like 5 different variations of Luke Skywalker hair color, and they all came out at the same time. So if you were chasing those, you literally would be in the store thumbing through them looking at the same time. It was not, you know, that one came out at this time and one came out at that time. It's that one came from China, one came from, you know, maybe US. I don't know if US produced things. You know, Taiwan and so forth. Let's go big on this because he's got...
Okay. So, if I can get Boba to hold his damn gun. All right, so this is Hong Kong Boba Fett. This is the one that people consider to be probably the most common way that we got Boba Fett, okay?
Yes.
This is Taiwan Boba Fett. You can see immediately the difference.
Yeah. It's not just the belt color, it's the color of the blue, too.
The color of the blue and everything else. And then you've got the infamous one that I don't have, which is the almost like white blue. They call him Tri-Logo Fett. He's got like the white blue.
Was that the Canadian one or something like that?
I think it was the one that was sold in Europe sort of right at the end.
Yeah.
Like that. England, stuff like that. Did I just hear somebody whimper?
No, that was me. I'm just like, oh, that's interesting.
Okay. And then I got one more example. Stand by. Actually, I got 2 more examples. Stand by.
Samuel Proctor says, I mentioned to Troy earlier, I sent a letter to Lucasfilm as a kid during the release of the Clone Wars movies. They gave me back a quote-unquote personalized reply with a white Lego Boba Fett. Yeah, and I was explaining to him that's probably, there's some value to that. That wasn't just, an off. That was an acknowledgement of the original costume of Boba Fett when he was first being promoted. Peter Venkman Girl says, Hong Kong, Philippines, and Taiwan, sometimes Mexico, gotta love those international factories. Yes, and they all had different shades of paint, so they came differently all the time. That's absolutely true. Now, for me, I was such a diehard Star Wars fan early on. I joined the fan club, got my little card with my Force number on it, received the Bantha tracks. So Bantha tracks was it was a gatefold. You can't even call it a newsletter. It was a pamphlet, really. But it had interviews with George Lucas, where he talked about his idea of doing 3 sets of 3 movies. And then he went back on that and said, no, I never said that. Sorry, I got the Bantha tracks that says you did.
The second trilogy, which would have had Luke searching for his lost sister.
Right, exactly. He didn't mention that, but yeah, that's true.
And the Emperor was going to be the main villain in that trilogy. Greedo.
Right. This is the Greedo that most of us would have gotten.
Yeah.
Unless it was the one distributed by Palitoy.
Yeah.
And when I get close, you can, well, hold on. You can see that the colors on the Palitoy one pop more.
Yes, they do.
I know you're like skeptical, but trust me, I know more than you. So, all right.
I have never claimed to be a Star Wars figure expert. Like I said, I was annoyed when I realized there were not going to be any more movies after Jedi release, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to move on to the new thing. And for me, that was Indiana Jones, because I was trying. What's the new thing?
Well, you know, every now and then when you gamble, my friend, eventually you lose. Okay.
Yes, well, you know, I was 6, dude. Come on.
All right, so this is the famous yellow hair Luke Skywalker.
Right.
Yay, look at that.
What was very confusing to many of us growing up in the Jedi era was that on the back of the cards, that where you had your checklist for all your figures, Luke Skywalker looked like this.
Yes.
Well, that Luke Skywalker, this one, was next to impossible to find in the United States. But Kenner did not tell us that, and there was no internet back then.
Right.
So we would be searching for this one, because you could get Bespin Luke looking like this, or this. But you could barely find him this way. On the Empire card backs, when they went to the Empire era, there's a version of this Luke Skywalker that has very dark brown hair, but he was only sold, you know, in certain regions, and I don't think that was intentional. I think that was just by happenstance. Like, it was, you know, certain people were able to find him more easily than others with the dark brown hair. The only one that I can safely say was a figure that was updated in the way Boomer's thinking, where did they change things for the next movie? The only example I can come up with off the top of my head is this famous little bastard right here.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the original Yoda from the Empire line. And I didn't really know any different for a long time until I saw my next door neighbor's Yoda, because when I got Yoda, right at the end of 82, beginning of 83, he looked like this.
Brown snake.
Right, and this is my childhood Yoda. So Yoda really, to me, is like the only figure that they did make a physical change to, because they were updating him for the next movie or whatever. Even though these two figures are not markedly different, it's just more that they decided they didn't want him looking like this anymore for some reason.
But even with Yoda, he had the same kind of variations that the other ones did, where you had different colors of green.
Right.
For his.
Yeah. There's like a bunch of subtle variations that go through all this.
Yeah.
Like, there's a bunch of sculpting variations on all these figures and all that kind of stuff. But the variations that I really care about are the ones you can see from like 10 feet away. Like, those are the ones where I go, okay, that's a variation. You know? Yeah. Like, one of the ones that really, when I was a kid, I loved the fact that most of the human figures for Star Wars, the head was molded in the skin color, and then all the details of the hair and everything were painted on.
Right.
And I understood why they didn't do that for like the Hoth, Luke, and Han, because the helmet was the majority of the face.
Sure.
But when they got to Jedi Luke, and suddenly they just painted his face on a maple plastic head,
yeah,
that annoyed the crap out of me, because Endor Han and Endor Leia were done the same way the other figures were done. They were done. Well, Luke, every time you saw Jedi Luke, his nose was rubbed off. He looked like Ronald McDonald. He had like this, you know, nose rub thing going on.
Yeah.
Well, I found out as an adult that actually, at the very beginning of the distribution of Jedi Luke Skywalker, he was done in a flesh-colored head, and the hair was painted on. And I'm like, why didn't they keep doing that?
Yeah.
And I tracked one of those sumbitches down, and I got him. And then, like 6 months later, I found another one without any accessories in a $2 bin at a toy show.
Wow.
And the guy that was with me at the time, a friend of mine, he had pulled me over to the box because he was like, "There's a $2 Kenner, beater fig thing," and not all of them were beaters. Some of them were just no accessories, right?
Right.
Well, he had a few figures in his hand that he bought, and I went in there and I oh shit, and I pulled up and I'm like, "I'll take this one and I'll take these R2D2s and I'll take." And he's like, "Where was it the Jedi? You've got tons of Jedi Lukes." And I said, "Painted hair." "How did I miss that?" I said, "Because you ain't paying attention."
There you go. There you go. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, it was early days, front of the line. By the time we started getting into Ewoks and droids, I was kind of not that I'd lost interest. I wanted to keep going with it.
Right.
But the marketing wasn't there anymore. So I missed out on the A wing and the B wing. I didn't get the B wing and a lot of the later items. I was a purist. Tony at Analog Toys has up a video. Go check it out, people. He talks about the 12-inch figures, 12-inch scale. They weren't all 12-inch figures,
right?
But they were 12-inch scale. I got 0 of those,
right?
Because at the time I was interested. A buddy of mine had the Luke and the Boba Fett, and I was like, God, that looks really cool. But at the same time, no world building, you're never going to get an X-wing in those scales and stuff like that. And I was also really put off by Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. It looked like a light dirk. I was like, what the hell is this?
It looked like one of those guiding the airplane in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, that was just weird. Did get some of them when they re-released them in the 90s. Slightly smaller. Kind of like those. But I'll be honest, customizing Troy back in the early 80s was like, could I turn a G.I. Joe figure into a hammerhead? Just, and I started doing some things with cardboard, and I'm like, nah, no, this might be a bit too much for me. Now we live in the age of 3D printing, so everything's a possibility. And but I'm still sticking to the 3 3/4 inch. That's why I'm doing all of the holiday special figures that were never released and should have been. But that's why I had Michael bring up that little piece of paper that pointed out that technically there were 2 holiday special figures that were released. One was Boba Fett. What was the other one, Michael? Do you remember?
The short Snaggletooth. Yeah.
Yep. The short Snaggletooth, because the picture on the front was the picture from the holiday special.
Right.
Not the 2 of the same race that appeared in the original movie.
Right.
We didn't get those until late Power of the Force, and then later in Hasbro.
Yep.
Did both of those.
Yep.
But fuck Hasbro. They put out this whole HasLab cantina, and then they put out 4 figures that you need for it, but they sell out like that. Now you're fucked. Screw you. Let's hope they re-release. I actually have a tab open that I refresh every day to see if it's...
What figures were they?
Let me open that, because I got it in Mozilla. That was... I forget the names of these characters, but it was the Imperial spy that you mentioned.
Right.
The werewolf-looking guy that got replaced by the elephant guy.
Right.
In the special edition. And the one that with horns that looked like the devil.
Right.
And one that was never done before, the Wookiee owner of the bar, Chalman.
Right.
So I keep refreshing to see if... Because they've done that with other 4-packs that sold out.
Right.
And I figure, well, eventually, Eventually, they'll get their heads out of their asses and go ahead and
here's one
make money again.
Here's one for you, Troy.
What's that? Let's see. Oh, what's that?
Well, I'll show you.
Gosh, let me see. Oh, gosh, that is the accessory pack.
Right.
With all the Hoth backpacks and the extra guns and the Jedi training harness.
And it comes with the instruction sheet.
How cool is that? How cool is that? Yeah, so those guns were not anything new, but they were replacements for those of us that had lost those guns.
Yep.
The Jedi harness we didn't have before.
Right.
Same with the Hoth backpacks. We needed that for all of our Hoth characters.
Yep.
And it wouldn't be until Power of the Force that they would re-release that Jedi training harness with the Luke Bespin.
Right, and they did update the Dagobah playset in the Kenner run. The original release, which is the box that I have for Dagobah, it doesn't have it on the front, but the later releases of the Dagobah playset, they added that backpack in as an accessory. That came
I didn't know that.
And they put a special graphic on the box that says, with Jedi training backpack, that shows the Bespin Luke figure with Yoda in the backpack to let people know, hey, this comes with this backpack too. Like,
it's a shame that they didn't think to put out a Dagobah Luke at that point,
right?
Because you still had to use your Bespin fatigue, Luke with that.
Yep.
And I just imagine him being really, really hot, and not being able to take off his jacket.
Yeah, that would be terrible. Yeah, stank.
Well, and you actually have that particular outfit, so you know how warm it might get.
Oh, it gets toasty. Given that the pants are like fly fishing waders underneath the jacket. So
are they wool?
No.
Okay.
They're like a cotton gabardine or something like that, like a twill.
It does breathe, but still kind of warm.
Oh yeah, well their options back then for costume fabrics weren't as,
On the topic of cosplay, I've seen, you have the Han Solo, you've got the Luke Skywalker and whatnot. Do you have an X-wing pilot?
No, I have the helmet. The helmet replica from EFX for Luke's Snowspeeder Empire Strikes Back helmet.
Okay.
I have his gloves from that scene, which are identical to they're his Hoth gloves. They're just
sure.
And I have something else from the whole X-wing Snowspeeder getup I have. But no, I won't lie. I've been tempted when I've seen like the Snowspeeder orange jacket, because he had a jacket on over the jumpsuit, suit for the Snowspeeder. I've been tempted when those jackets have come out in the past, been like, oh, that'd be cool to have one. And it's like,
the jumpsuits aren't hard to get. You can get those military surplus, no problem.
But the Snowspeeder add-ons to the whole thing, because the boots are totally different.
I have the only part that I actually have is the chest piece that which is actually, it's probably a little undersized actually. It was from a like a laser tag type of set.
Right.
But it's, it would work great for a cosplay.
Right,
but, that's all I have.
Right. Yeah, I never went for a lot of those very intricate. I was always trying to get the main outfits of my heroes from Empire, like for me. Like I wanted to do Han and Luke and stuff like that. And the funny part is I've never actually worn my finished. It's like I finally got the Bespin Luke Skywalker one done right before I stopped doing conventions for a while, and then by the time I thought maybe I should do that again, I was older and my hairline had backed up, so I was like, I'm not gonna put that on. So
well, and see, that's just it. I Netter and I did the cosplay for a lot of years, and we were 100% into it. It had to be accurate. It had to be perfect.
Yeah.
And that includes us.
Right.
If we started aging out of something, we aged out of it.
Right.
We used to go down to Metropolis, Illinois for the Superman celebration, and we would see people doing Superman, Supergirl, and whatnot. And it's like, unless you want to do like Earth 2 versions of those characters, maybe it's time to retire.
Right, right. That's one of the things I always joke about. It's like, well, even though I wear it as wardrobe, pieces of it as wardrobe more than I actually put a costume on.
Right.
I could costume as Indiana Jones until I'm like 80, like without a problem. Because
that's true, because they tied their wagon to Harrison Ford, and that's it.
Right. Now, would I do the Dial of Destiny version of the outfit? No, because I think the character would actually never have changed up the configuration. I think it would have looked Raiders, but, splitting hairs. So, I have my dignity to preserve.
Oh, I dig it. Samuel, well, yeah, you don't want to do the Dial of Dysentery like role play. I mean, it's just,
My answer to this question, hi, Michael, if you have, sorry, Troy, you read that, sorry.
Yeah, sure. Hey, hi, Michael. If you happen to be into lightsaber cosplay, what lightsaber company would you recommend to get them? If not, it's totally fine. First, before you answer, check out his channel. He's got a video. He's got a couple of videos about lightsabers. Definitely check out Don't Eat the Yellow Lightsaber, but that's not directly related to what you're talking about. He does also talk about a company that wanted to affiliate with him, and there's a whole story behind that.
Yeah, there's a lot of Chinese lightsaber, sort of like FX saber companies now, and they're all basically the same company, just there's different web portals. And so, like, in other words, you can start a saber company tomorrow, and you're basically getting your sabers from everybody's getting their sabers from this one place. The guy that runs Star Wars Theory, he now has his own saber.
Yeah. Yes, he does.
Company. I don't know how good they are. Saber companies are a lot like hat makers in the Indiana Jones space, where every 5 to 8 years, if you're not already set with what you've got and you are going into the market, you can't rely on information from 8 years ago. You've kind of got to get a new lay of the land, so to speak, and figure out what. So you're going to have to do some homework, because I'm not completely up on all that. Because I kind of got out of. I was always less interested in the effect sabers. I wanted the hilts. I wanted the accurate hilts. I didn't care so much about the blades and the light up and this and that. Like, it was fun to costume with those, but ultimately I just liked the hilts. And so I'm even less appropriate to answer that question. So,
what do you have in that regard in terms of the hilts?
The hilts? Well, you saw my Star Wars Follies about the lost lightsaber. Didn't I dedicate?
You dedicated that to me. Thank you very much.
Okay, yeah. I knew I dedicated a video to you, but I couldn't remember which one it was. I
can't remember though. Did you actually get one of those, or?
I was referring to the fact that a guy saw my saber collection in a video, and he noticed I didn't have that one, and he made one super accurate, like with all the original actual parts. And he was chronicling the build of it. I didn't know this. He was chronicling the build of it on the replica props forum for everybody, because he was doing one of the most super accurate ones that had been done to date.
Sure.
And then he put together a special plaque and everything, and he just sent it to me as a surprise.
Yeah, I'm still honestly working on mine. Netter got a bunch of the hilts, the Graflexes, that specific Graflex. They're a lot easier to get than
it's called the Graflite. Yeah, the Graflite. Right. Yeah.
And so she got like a bunch of them, and I've got one. And somebody out there is selling a kit that has either replicas or whatever of the different bits and bobs that go on it. I just got to take the time to assemble it, drill the holes, do the thing. But then I'll have my holiday special lightsaber. My intent is to have it done before Life Day this year.
Right. Holiday special, and technically, which is the best kind of correct, it is also an Empire Strikes Back lightsaber.
on film though, right? Just from the promo.
No.
Right?
It was used.
Graphics.
Original Graphics.
And I don't know what this one is.
Oh, this is the Darth Vader. Okay, yeah. Let me go big for this one.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the original Graphics. Right.
Right.
Customized by me. Doesn't have the
No, actually, you haven't touched that one at all.
No, I have, because the what do you call it here is
calculator bubble. Yeah.
And no, this is actually etched metal.
Oh, okay. All right.
Did that obtained it and installed it myself. I have the tracking for this, but I haven't put it on yet.
Yeah.
That's a simple do. This is from scratch. Vader one. This one I actually did put the tracking on. This is literally just a metal tube.
Right, but it's meant to mimic the MPP. Right.
Exactly. You know.
Do you want the holiday special one?
Do you have? Well, yeah. Just grab the Graphics just so I can show it. But yeah, those are the ones that I have. The Empire Strikes Back. No, excuse me. Jedi lightsaber. I have the only one that I have, very special to me personally, is the Universal Remote that Netter gave me for our anniversary, and that makes it special. You know, I don't need a hand tooled, perfect replica. I love the fact that Netter gave me this Universal Remote that may or may not even work with the current TV we have. I don't even know. But yeah, that's my bag. Yeah, you kind of get that. And I think I've tried to explain it to you before, Michael. I think everyone else understands.
Special.
Yeah, so this is a completely not yet customized, just the Graphlite.
Yeah.
I thought I went big, but I didn't.
No, you're fine. Right.
But clearly it needs an extension.
Yeah.
This needs to be, this comes off easily enough, and I need to put the extension on this.
Right.
We got like a dozen of those, so if anyone's looking to do this thing, let me know.
If for cheap, I can get these for you. There's a
shroud.
A shroud piece that I actually cut myself out of sheet aluminum. Some stickers that go on it.
Yeah, like a clamp, sort of weird thing, like an electronic sort of like electric piece.
And but what's really awesome about it is, obviously it's my fetish for the holiday special, but it's also because that was the lightsaber that Luke used in a bunch of the promotional shots for Empire Strikes Back. So,
it was his Empire Strikes Back post-accident look. But that's when they redid all the Star Wars farm boy shots. And you can tell because his face is a little different, his hair's a little different, and he's holding the holiday special saber in all those images until a few years ago, right before the Disney takeover, Lucasfilm photoshopped Graphics handles into all of his hands.
That's ridiculous.
I chronicled that in that Star Wars Follies where I show the imagery and stuff. But that lightsaber, the actual holiday special hilt, made for the holiday special, is you can't see it in the movie, but you can see it in the behind-the-scenes photography. They put that on Mark Hamill's doubles snowspeeder belt, his snowspeeder outfit belt, when he's hanging under the AT-AT.
Interesting.
So, because they were getting the shot of him disconnecting the insert of him disconnecting the cable. There's like this close up of the cable going click, and falling off.
Yeah.
So they needed that shot. Well, they shot that in California as a pickup, and they did that with a guy from ILM who came in who was Mark Hamill's size and everything. And you can see in the behind the scenes photograph, the holiday special lightsaber is on his belt. Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. So I actually have a display. I don't have it up, but it was something that a buddy of mine got me. It's this plastic store display that with a little bit of work would be perfect for displaying lightsaber hilts. And one of these days, I'm going to put it together, and I'm going to have the original Graflex, the holiday special, the Darth Vader one, and possibly the Return of the Jedi one, just for my own sake, you know, like a katana display or something like that, you know, just because that's how crazy I am. Now, look, we are, I don't know how many, 2.5 hours into this talk. We've been talking about our memories about the toys, memories about Star Wars, our ups and our downs, and we've never even come close to, well, we mentioned the prequels a little bit, but not a lot. We're the diehard fans. We're the old school original fans that Lucasfilm seems bound and determined to piss off and push away.
Right.
I hate to bring it down or put it on a downward trajectory, but do we think that there's going to come a time things are going to turn around and we might get our Star Wars back?
Hey, Boomer, you want to field that one?
All right. Well, obviously, I think a lot's going to depend on box office, how this movie does at the theater this weekend.
I can tell you already, the early box office is saying this movie's going to bomb.
The big test will be Starfighter. That's the other one they're doing.
True.
With Ryan Gosling. That'll be the big test, and he's still pretty popular. He came off that Project Hail Mary movie, and
that's a lot to pin Star Wars popularity on. I don't think you're going to get a lot of Ryan Gosling fans who aren't Star Wars fans coming just because they love Ryan Gosling.
I don't know. But my point is, I think the only way things change, if those movies don't meet expectations, then maybe current heads at Disney, because of course we've had a change in management over there. Maybe they go in and they maybe figure out what's gone wrong over at Lucasfilm. But that's about it. That's all I can think of. That's my own. I mean, I can't predict the future on this. So.
I've been saying all week that Star Wars, the message of Star Wars, if there's one word, Star Wars has something very in common with Superman. That the bottom line of the message of these franchises is hope, right? Superman's symbol means hope in the Kryptonian language.
Okay.
And let's face it, Luke was the new hope. Leia says, yeah, go ahead, Boomer.
Well, no, it's hope is one thing. I also say you need cool heroes and interesting villains.
Well, yeah,
they've not been doing that for a while.
That's true. When it comes to the basics of story, yes, you're absolutely right. But my point is, if you believe in the philosophy of Star Wars, you believe in hope. And before anyone says, hope is not a strategy, no, you're absolutely right. It's not a strategy. But you can't build a strategy unless you have hope. You need hope first, right? And the whole story of Star Wars, from the fall of Anakin Skywalker to his redemption, his son, all of that stuff, it's all about hope. It's when things look darkest, you don't give up. And honestly, things look pretty damn dark right now. Talk about the dark times. These are the dark times of fandom. The dark times in Star Wars was after the fall of Anakin Skywalker. But the dark times for the fans is since Disney bought it. And I understand it. But honestly, let's pull back a little bit, folks. Fandoms are not something new. This isn't something that started with our generations, okay? Fandoms have existed for thousands of years, right? We have mythologies that exist. Ancient Greece, ancient Egypt, so on and so forth. You can debate, you know, how those myths have changed over time. What is the canon of those? Let's face it, they were religions at the time, right? But they endure because their stories are compelling. If if they weren't, nobody would care about who Ra and Isis and Osiris were, right?
Mm-hmm.
In a way, we probably wouldn't have a hero archaeologist caring about those things today to build a fandom around if we didn't care about ancient Egypt, right?
Right.
It belongs in a museum.
It belongs in a museum. Yeah, exactly. So, guys, I've butted heads with people, and I'm sorry, my argument will outlast all of our lifetimes. You can say what you want about rights and copyrights and trademarks, but when Disney no longer exists as an entity, and that day will happen eventually, maybe not in our lifetime, but maybe hundreds of years from now, Star Wars as a story will probably still be remembered. And it won't be remembered as what was canon under Disney. It'll be what did the fans keep alive. What they wrote and the books that they kept reprinting. That is what canon is. Canon exists in the heads. What we call fanon or head canon, that's the real canon, people. We're seeing it play out in real time with Star Trek. As Bad Robot and Secret Hideout lose their licenses and necessarily lose their right to any kind of claim on Star Trek, all Paramount has is to go back to their original license and therefore the original canon. Guess what? We're still here, the fans. Same is true for Star Wars.
Thinking back, though, we used to play with the toys.
Yeah.
You would either play as the Rebels or the Imperials, but the cool thing is that they were both in. You got these neat figures with both
cool,
sides.
yeah.
Yes, and I felt that was horrifically lacking in the sequel trilogy. I thought all of the First Order villains were not
I
interesting.
never thought about that. You got a good point.
General Hux, not interesting. Snoke, they were building him up, and then I guess Rian Johnson just didn't do anything with him. And you had Kylo, who was throwing tantrums every 5 minutes, and it's just, no, this is not. And then we have our hero characters who just didn't even get established in the first movie.
No,
I thought Rey was going to be some
character
sort of a
development.
clone
Yeah.
character. That's why she knew how to pilot the Millennium Falcon. I thought she was some sort of weird experiment, and she had amnesia.
Again, the fans had the best headcanon for these characters.
Yes.
We were expecting Finn to be this force sensitive, really awesome character. Nope. Screw him. Poe Dameron, he was the Wedge Antilles, he was the pilot, he was the everyman. Nope, he's the toxic white male that we gotta downgrade.
We don't get scenes with the three of them together until the
Rey?
end of Last Jedi.
We wanted Rey to be, maybe she was the secret daughter of Han and Leia. Nope, she was nobody. She was Palpatine's granddaughter, actually, is what she really was. It's like, dude, screw you, really? Rose Tico? All she was a foil for a character we actually liked. So, I mean, she was useless. I mean, in fact, the Rose Tico figures were so marked down. There was somebody on Etsy that was selling 12 Rose Tico action figures on a stick in a bundle. A dozen roses.
Oh, that's kind of funny.
Yeah. For a reasonable price. It's like that is the most ridiculous, silly thing I've ever seen.
Look,
but that makes me wonder.
Okay.
I want to see, because you can still find these figures peg warming at Ollie's. These sequel trilogy figures.
So what does Disney do with? Are they gonna, if they decide they need to really seriously change course, are they gonna just reboot the whole thing, which I shudder to think would not be a good idea, especially if they want to remake the original trilogy? Do they set it in the future, like maybe 1,000 years in the future from the original trilogy? That way, You can take or leave the sequel trilogy if you want. It's new characters, new foes, and everything. It's still. That's the only other thing I can think of. That's the only thing I think they think where they could take it forward. They either set it far enough after this whole era that
I'll give you my thought on that in just a second. Let me go ahead and bring this up. This is a site that I get a lot of action figures from. It's called Tungori. It's a big mystery in the Star Wars collecting group. Nobody seems to know who this person is. They're out of Taiwan. We think maybe this is somebody who gets, stuff that fell off the truck from the factory out there. Don't know for sure. But, and he sells them all loose. None of these are on package. But, he's got a Disney figure, a Commander Wolf from the Black Series. He's got a bunch of droids. I've actually gotten a lot of these droids because where else are you going to get... it says R2 because this is from the sequel trilogy, but that's a clear dome. So that's really an R3 figure. Grand Moff, someone or other. Anyway, some of these are out of. You can still get this. If you were someone that had to catch them all, and you needed to get your baby Grogu, so you bought a friggin' Razor Crest in order to get this particular version of Grogu, well, you can get them for $20. Right now, you can order this. See, add to cart. You can get it right now.
Don't you dare add that to
cart. No. I've already got 2 of him because he came with the little ball that went missing easily.
Just still somewhere on the carpet, I think.
Yeah, exactly. But you can get him for a reasonable price. It's just that he's not on card. This, does anybody know who this figure is? R2-Q2?
No. Yes, actually, he's Yes, he's on the Blockade Runner, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Right.
Yes, he is. And that's how I got this figure, was from here. The Black Series Han and Carbonite. Yeah, some of these are from the cartoon series that I don't even know. But let's go further back. Definitely had to get him because this is the one that fights Lady Lumia from the comic books.
Mm.
But there's your Kyle Katarn. There you go. But yeah, finally we find, and he's marked down to $7.99, and he's still fucking available.
While Kyle Katarn is $32.99.
Is he still? He's out of stock though. He's not even available anymore. But you're right. When he was available, he was $33.
Right.
That's right. Let's go further back. Do we find any other? There we go. We got a Rey. Oh, she's out of stock for $30. You can still get a stormtrooper first order for $8.
Right.
Captain Phasma, $10.
That was a wasted character in that sequel trilogy. She was actually one of the few I was actually interested in. Then they just knocked her off in the second one. Yeah. I just.
Oh! Catch this. This is where you were able to get a hold of your Princess Leia, Slave Leia, and
what?
Your,
that's not allowed anymore. You can't call her that either.
Right. And Ula, she was incomplete. She didn't have her chains. She didn't even have her outfit. She's buck-ass naked, and she went for $50. Let's see. Who else? I know there's like a Rose Tico.
Ahsoka. I saw Ahsoka.
Yeah. I'm looking for the sequel. There's not even the sequel ones get buried here. Give me a second. Really wanted to get this one for Netter, but that one was out of
Which one?
This because I was going to customize this into your Reg figure from the role playing game. Let's see. You have to go all the way back. Okay, here's a Rose.
Ray.
Ray, excuse me, going for $7. That's still available. Snoke is still available for $6.
Mm-hmm.
This Kylo is out of stock, but this Knight of Ren is available for $12.
The what?
Still sitting there, waiting to be bought. Still waiting.
The Knights of Ren.
yeah, whatever those fuckers were. You can still get a Solo Star Wars story figure for $8. Yeah, this is how well these effers are selling. Yeah, she's out of stock, but I did manage to get one of those. Let's see.
Where are the Vespa kids?
They never got an action figure, and they probably never will. That one's out of stock, but that was going for $7 when it was available. Yeah, Jin Urso is out of stock as well.
Really? I think you can get her at Ollie's.
You would think that you'd be able to get a Caspian Andor for, but you know.
Where's Baba Frick?
There was no as far as I know, there was no Babu Frick figure. And then we get into, of course, the retro figures. Here we go. Rose Tico. You can still get Rose Tico for $7 if you really, really want her. You can get a $7 old Leia. Leia Poppins, if you want. Okay, so Solo's out of stock. So is Finn. So there you go. There you go. Oh, you can still get a Black Series Baby Yoda for $3 if you want, with the little dongle from the
hey, which Admiral Akbar is that? Is that the one from the sequel trilogy?
This was the Walmart exclusive. I don't know if that constitutes a sequel trilogy or not, but
remember when the actor got angry that they killed his character off? And I had this image in my head that, he used to show up at conventions in full costume, like with the mask, and that later on Disney would have sent him thing, you can't be doing that anymore, because he talked crap about The Last Jedi.
I'll tell you
his whole livelihood is gone.
After a certain point, what happened here?
I don't know.
After a certain point, a lot of these fans, a lot of these stars that were no longer going to be working with Lucasfilm were like, screw you. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. I'm not going to make any money off you ever again, so I need to make money where I can. And they start going to the conventions. And actually, what's his name? Robert O'Reilly, Gowron from Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
He was told he could not appear in costume.
What?
For the longest time. And eventually said, you know what? Unless you're going to have me back, I'm going to start going to conventions in costume because I got to make money. And if I'm not going to, and you can't tell me I can't.
Right.
Because I'm not under contract with you anymore. And if I buy the costume myself, I'm cosplaying just like any fan would.
Right.
And sure enough, he started showing up at conventions in costumes made by the same person who made my costume, with foreheads made by the same guy that made my foreheads.
And I'm sure he forensically matched it to his original headpiece from...
Well, he asked them, and they were like, look, you didn't hear it from me, but yes, this was cast from the same mold that made yours. And he was like, yeah, I figured. And it fits him perfectly. But yeah, I mean, the fans, what is it Retro Blasting always says? Fans are doing the best work.
Yeah, they
We
are.
really are. I would go to conventions in the Klingon makeup and stuff. And what's his name? Worf. Michael Dorn.
Right.
Said to me, he goes, who did your makeup? I said, I did it myself. And he said, how long did it take you?
Right.
I said, no, about a half hour. He's like, it took me almost 5 hours having it done by someone else professionally.
Right.
I'm like, the people that are the fans have learned what all of you guys do, but when you do it yourself over and over again, you start to cut corners and you figure out what you need to do and what you can leave behind. And he's like,
question,
that's
dear.
impressive. Yeah.
I may have missed it, and you may have said it and I missed it. Did you see that Jonathan Conroy had gifted 5 Last Call memberships?
I did. I brought them up. I didn't say them out loud.
Okay,
but thank you.
I didn't miss it. You just didn't.
I brought them up, but I didn't actually say them aloud. Thank you.
Thank you,
Jonathan
for all the
Conroy.
gifties.
You are absolutely one of the executive producers of the channel, because he does that. He drops 5 gifted memberships from time to time. He's good people. He really is. Sorry if I didn't say hi to Drew Q. Welcome, welcome. A lot of new names here. That always happens when Michael's here. That's not why I have Michael on, by the way. I have Michael just because, damn it, I can't connect with him otherwise. Hell, I got to message him for a month before he even sees an invite.
Look, I apologize about that. I don't know how that happened. I apologize. I really do.
So then you see me messaging you on 4 different platforms, and you're like, "Are you afraid I'm not going to show up?" I'm like, "No, I just don't know how best to get a hold of you." So it's scattershot. I put it out on X, on YouTube, on Patreon.
And that's not a criticism of you. That's a tacit self-criticism of me.
Yeah.
That's me saying, "Oh, have I garnered a reputation where I'm unreliable and won't show up?"
No. I know you are true to your word, but getting your word by initial contact is the difficult part.
It's been a weird couple months. I'll be.
You have not recovered from your trip to Egypt. You really haven't.
I haven't. I'm working on it. The channel bounced back nicely, and I'm working on some good stuff, but you're right. Me personally, it's like I woke up, the last few weeks going into months, and I'm like, the world is just weird now.
Okay, I'm gonna out myself right now.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the reason that I didn't have Nate's video loaded, and I was late coming into the studio, and I may or may not have closing credits. I don't even know at this point. It was because I was playing a game right up until almost go live, and I looked and I'm like, "Oh, it's 15 minutes! I haven't even made my damn drink for tonight. Damn it!"
It happens. It happens.
And this was let's say about 45 minutes before the show when I told him, "I'm going to go take a shower now. This is what I'm stopping now from doing my deep cleaning
She
of
had
the kitchen."
time to shower,
because
do her hair, and
I want to
everything.
make sure I have time to shower before the show. And I just get out of the shower. I'm combing my hair, and he goes, "Holy crap! The show's going to be starting in a few minutes." I'm like, "Seriously, dude?"
Boomer, I think you and I, it's inevitable. We're going to have to do this whether you like it or not.
What?
I may have to do a stream about Fallout. I might have to. I've been spending so damn much time on it. I really should.
Fine.
It's just
I should do a stream about Breath of the Wild, which I'm still stuck on.
Is that
Zelda?
I was just gonna say, is that the kid with the ocarina?
Yeah, it's the newer one of that. It's more open world, much like the like your Fallout game. It's an open world.
Wait.
What?
Wait.
Boomer ocarina. Yeah, exactly.
Hold on.
Wild.
So, you said you're stuck on Breath of the Wild.
Yes.
All right. So.
It's all I know.
I'm just going to put this out there. And if you like it, you can keep it. And if not, you can throw it right back. Okay? I was a big Zelda devotee. It's one of the reasons I bought an N64 just to play Ocarina of Time. So I get it. I love Zelda. There's no denigration of Zelda coming in this conversation. Zelda's... I even took a picture of a great Zelda Link cosplayer that I put on the MomoCon photos on Patreon. So I only played Breath of the Wild part-time because occasionally Melinda would call me up from the studio when I was working on a video because she was playing it on the Switch, and she wanted me to assist her with a piece of it here or there, whatever. Now, I played through a lot of it because of that. But I would also play through the parts where it's like... I guess what I'm saying is, I solved that game with only like 20% of my attention on it. So what exactly is the holdup here?
What do you mean the holdup?
You just said you're stuck. I don't know many other definitions of the word stuck.
Because I'm not good at it, man. Okay.
Wait. You're the gamer of the four of it. You're the
doesn't
gamer.
matter. It doesn't mean I'm good at them.
I love gaming. I just suck at it.
No, here's the deal. Okay, I'm trying to get into the Gerudo village, and they're like, no men allowed. Then there's this thing outside that's like jumping up, and it's like in the sands, and I gotta kill it.
Oh, don't you know you're supposed to go and say, I identify as, that's how you get in.
I think I tried sneaking in there by parachuting in.
Well, there is the one, you're not wrong, Troy. There's a desert city where the only way Link is able to get in is he has to dress like the other gender.
Are you serious
Oh,
here?
that's offensive. It's cultural.
Are you serious here, or am I
gender
going to be going on a wild goose
appropriation.
chase?
I'm not talking about the village that you're in. You're in the volcano village, right? With the big hulking guys, right?
Oh, the tan ladies, the desert.
That's the village you're at?
That's where I got to. That's where I left off.
Well, you got to go find girl clothes. That's not a joke.
That's it? I thought I had to kill the monster, and then they'd be, hey, hail the hero! You stopped this thing outside our village. That's not how you get in.
No, dude. These are feminists. They're not going to ever consider you a hero. You need to go and pretend to be a woman. That's what you got to do. You got to do a. You got to do a
So you don't have the outfit that's very like wispy with veils. I'm not being jokey. That keeps you from getting hot in the desert.
No.
I'm pretty sure that's the way you get into that city.
All right, let me go to the shops. Maybe they got something
Boomer,
in there.
we live in an internet age. You can look up how to get into.
No, I don't do that. Okay, I don't do that.
Oh, that's cheating, right?
Okay.
And here I am playing Fallout 4 in God mode. I mean, just screw that.
Listen, man. Anyway.
Hell, my character has been out of cryo freeze for over a week. And I should be going to find my son. No, I'm fucking building settlements for, survivors and shit.
It just dawned on me. Link starts out Breath of the Wild being in a kind of cryo freeze when he comes out of it. I didn't even think about that.
By the way, I just went to. I don't trust my memory anymore because I'm old now. But I went and looked, and I'm right.
All right, I will see if I can locate an outfit.
And remember, 20% of my attention was on that game. So, dude. I respect the fact that you are this into something that you are sort of like,
you're remedial. You are a gamer retard, is what you are.
Here is what's going on. I have to put the game down because I'm still in grad school, so I only look at it over the summers. But last summer I got kind of into Animal Crossing.
So there's this.
Why?
I know what you're thinking. I until you try it, you don't understand.
What are you, a 13-year-old girl?
No, it's not a girl series.
Why is he playing a game called Animal Crossing and I'm playing a game called Squirrel with a Gun? Like what? There's a disconnect here somewhere.
Goat Simulator.
Right? Okay. So Boomer, there's an anime that I saw several years ago that I think you might really relate to.
What is it?
It's called Bokuben, and the premise of it is that a kid who's works hard in high school and he's gotten good grades. He's not the valedictorian, but he's respected. The president of the school, the whatever you call him, superintendent, whatever, he says, "Look, I'll give you the recommendation to the university of your choice if you can help these two girls by tutoring them." And he goes, "Well, the one girl is like a literature genius. What help does she need with? What does she need help with?" He goes, she doesn't want to go to school for literature and writing. She wants to go to school for math and science.
Okay.
He goes, "But she sucks at that." And he goes, "Yeah, so you got to help her out." He said, "Who's the other girl?" She said, "Well, the other girl is so-and-so." He goes, "That's the math genius." He goes, "Yeah, but she doesn't want to go to university for math. She wants to go to school for the humanities and literature, and she sucks at that."
Get those two girls together.
And he's like, "What the hell? What the hell?" So I'm sitting there going, I wonder if there's like a third kid who like wants to go to school for like video games, but he's terrible at them. And now it's like,
Look, man.
Guys, just saying.
I stumble in Breath of the Wild, but part of the genius of Breath of the Wild is it allows you to figure things out without going down the normal path. Now, while you say you need that costume to get in that village, there is probably another way to do it.
All right.
You can go into
it's probably a lot harder and a lot more possible.
Okay, great. All right, you go find the glitch in those polygons.
Okay.
You let me know how long it takes you to get stuck in that liminal space, and then you come back and tell me you got soft locked.
Dude, I'm watching videos for Fallout 4 about, hey, this is how you can get into this secret area in the game. You go up to it in a power suit, and then you open it up, and you accidentally pop through the wall, and I'm like, what? Why? What?
Right.
You know, it's like, no, that's, look, I'm big on modding games, but, you know, that's me, you know, playing around with it. That's not, that's just weird. That's just weird, man.
Michael, I'm curious, did you play The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening on the Game Boy back in the day?
Yeah. Yeah.
I got that this summer. I didn't have the guidebook yet because you could get a free guidebook if you re-up for Nintendo Power, but it wasn't time for me to re-up yet. So I had to just play it through. I get to the final boss, and I don't know how to beat him, but I finally managed to do it. I think I found every one of those feathers or seashells or whatever was on the island. I got everything. And I finally beat it, and then later on I realized you had to use the fairy powder to stun him, and I somehow beat him without using the fairy power. I don't know how I did it, because I shouldn't have been able to, but I did.
Well,
it was a glitch, I guess. I don't know.
Nerfing, and
that's probably what I did. I nerfed myself out.
Well, yeah.
Well, no, nerfing's the opposite.
Right. So my point saying that is, like, you know, when you find a way to beat a boss. That's not what the game snobs call the right way, which there's no right way to defeat a boss. You defeat him, you defeat him, right? So, like, yeah, but I, you know, eventually, the longer you beat your head against a brick wall, the brick wall will crack, you know, at some point. Your head will be a mess, but the brick wall will yield.
It's like that.
But I don't know if you're going to find an alternate option for getting into Gerudo Town. I think you're going to have to go find... you know, Princess Jasmine's outfit and go in.
Do they sell that in a store, or is it something
I'm pretty sure it's sold somewhere where you got to go buy it.
That's good, because I don't want to do some stupid task for people. I can't stand it. I loved that game until I started running into NPCs, and I'm like, why are these people here? I love the fact that it was like a wasteland. It's like, oh, this is like Metroid, and I'm all excited. And then suddenly I run into the flower lady. Don't trample the flowers. I'm trying to save the world. I don't care about your flowers. And then if you trample them, she beats you up, which made me really angry. I'm just...
Well, they've been doing this since like the third Zelda game, the Link to the Past.
Yes, the chickens. I remember the chickens.
Yeah,
I used to attack the chickens, and then they'd attack
my point,
me.
though, is that this is part of the whole deal when you buy a Zelda game. You're going to be asked to fish, and you're going to be asked to cook, and you're going to be asked to run errands and do all this crazy stuff. You know?
Drives me nuts. That's why it's fine. It's fine.
This is the geek life. I gotta tell you, this is it.
Yeah.
These are the biggest problems we have in life. I'd say we're probably doing okay.
I'm fine.
There is I typically am not impressed with fantasy anime shows because they are based on all these Japanese RPGs. They're all based on. However, the ones that, and this is where not Ryan Gosling. Who's the idiot? Ryan Johnson. This is where Ryan Johnson could really learn what the word subversion actually means, rather than just every now and then there's one that really comes in and satirizes and subverts the rules of JRPG stuff for their show, whatever it is. So there's this one that I thought the setup was really brilliant. You know, kids living in the real world. He's a gamer like you, Boomer. You can probably relate. So he goes and he buys his game, and as he's walking home, he gets hit by like a dump truck or something. They all get hit. It's called truck kunning. They get hit by a truck. They wake up in the afterlife, and he wakes up, and there's this goddess in front of him, and she's sitting there in this throne. She's like, you've been resurrected, and now you can go into this fantasy world where we need heroes so that you can defeat the Demon King. And he's like, okay. Yes. And now you can choose from one of these two powers. You can choose two of these things. Well, he's a gamer. So he's like, show me everything. So then it like time lapses. He's been there a long time. She's bored and falling asleep on her chair. Yes. And he's looking at all the cards. And he goes, these are useless. These weapons are useless. These powers are useless. No two combos help me out. This is ridiculous. what am I supposed to do with any of this? Because he's a gamer. He's like, this is pointless. And she goes, you just got to pick something because I got like 50 other dead people that have just resurrected. I got to go deal with them. You got to pick something. And you see him and he goes, I can take anything I want, right? She goes, yeah. He goes, I can take anything here that I want. She goes, yeah. He goes, I'm going to take you.
Yes.
Wow.
And he's like, wait a second. And he's like, you said anything? She goes, that's not what I meant. And suddenly another goddess appears, like one of the other goddesses in the pantheon. She just appears in the air. And she goes, hey, wanted to let you know I'll be subbing in for you while you're gone. And she's like, what are you talking about? She goes, no. She goes, we've already approved the paperwork. You're going to go down. It's a valid choice. Good luck. And then it subverts it even further because when he gets there, he realizes that he hasn't shown up with any abilities that are useful, and she ends up being worthless. She's like a complete, basket case idiot. Like she can't do anything helpful.
Does she even have goddess power, or is she just immortal at that point?
No, she has goddess powers, but she's an idiot. Like she's completely, helpless and pointless and all that kind of stuff. Like she's not somebody you want in a crisis. Like, and she doesn't know what to do because she's always.
I saw this a while back.
You feel like you saw it a while back?
Yes, I have a sibling that shows me all these things, and I always forget about them after I watch them. But this was the one. What was the title of it?
Konosuba.
Yes. Because then later on, I watched Isekai Quartet, where they had all the different Isekai characters in a school setting. Like they just showed up at a high school, and they're like, "Why are we here?" So there's the guy from Overlord. There's the Tanya the Evil is there. I think Shield Hero shows up in the second season. So they're all. It's a lark because they're all from these different Isekai shows, and you wouldn't typically see these characters even interacting with each other. And
but a lot of those shows aren't very good. The point is that there's some.
Shield Hero was okay. It's all right,
depending on who you talk to.
Okay.
But yeah, like I think that for you, as somebody who plays a lot of Zelda, I would think that you need to go find Princess Jasmine's outfit and just accept your fate.
For the love of Mike. Why?
I think you'd look good in a diaphanous dress, Boom.
Anyway, I don't know.
It's dangerous to go alone. Take this veil over your face.
Yeah.
I know you're gonna get caught at some point too, or I don't know. Oh no, you're gonna have to scene with one of the men or something trying to make a pass at you. That's gonna happen, I'm sure.
Is he cute?
No. This is like when in the one village when I ran into the girl whose name is Paya, and like it says, I have a papaya-shaped birthmark on me, and then like one of your options was to ask where it was, and I'm like, where is it? And she's getting all upset, and she doesn't want to answer. And then the old lady, like her grandmother, says, you don't have to answer that. And I wanted to respond back, and we're like, I'm the hero of the realm. I'm going to save the world. It's up to me to determine what's important information or not. So
more importantly, you brought it up. You
know,
brought it up. I mean, it's a valid question when you brought it up. Why did you even tell me about it?
Anyway, it's fine.
Try. Remember, he claims he's never opened that pillowcase.
Ah, yeah,
you know
good
something?
Point, good point.
You know something? I'm not there. Years back, I watched this. It was like one of these shows where the people on that were reality shows. The person was undateable, and the guy had Sailor Moon pillowcases, and I'm like, see, I'm not that bad. Like, I'm not there yet. You know, I'm not. You know, it's like, what are you looking at me like that for, man? I got plain striped pillowcases. Leave me alone. You're not believing me. It's like the more I deny, the more you question me. Anyway,
you're not wearing it. When I showed up on this show a few appearances back, and I openly was, as a gag, wearing a Kandagawa Jet Girls t-shirt, that's awesome. Me giving everybody else nowhere else to go. But unfortunately, you've built a mystique and a mystery around yourself. It's like a So with that fog comes in inference latitude, where we can all go, what is the real deal with this guy?
Anyways.
He's sitting there right now with earphones that have ears on them. You know, I mean, I'm just saying.
Like cat ears, like the cat ears on the earphones. Yeah. That's a thing.
And unless you go on camera, we don't know any difference. So that's what's in our heads. So, you know, just saying.
By the way, and I don't know if you're going to yell at me about this, Michael, but
I don't yell. I just banter.
We'll judge, I should say. That
he just derides, sometimes silently.
Breath of the Wild became a whole lot easier when I started using amiibos to get the better weapons falling out of the sky.
Oh, okay. That's a
transition here. If you
weapons
guys
are
have
crap
not
in that game.
seen, if you guys have not seen Michael French's Rogue One deep dive, you're missing out. You really need to check that out. It's definitely worth your time.
Need I say that it was a wasted opportunity that when you use the Donkey Kong amiibo, the bananas don't fall out of the sky? Why, Nintendo? It's just normal stuff. It should have been bananas. That would have been perfect. Why?
It's
fine.
Seriously.
It's fine.
Seriously.
Whatever.
Okay. Let's start wrapping this up because we...
I want to talk about Zelda for another hour. Okay,
No. I don't know how we got off of Star Wars. Netter gave me a snack, and I've been munching here just because, you know... Oh, dude, tell me that those are yours and not Melinda's.
I can actually tell you honestly how we got these because Melinda watches a show called Falling Into Your Smile. It is a Chinese rom-com drama about a gaming team. And the main girl in the show was recruited by the team. And when she shows up, they hand her a pink and white gaming chair to sit in. And she's like, why are they making me all different with my gaming station? Because she just wants normal equipment. And then they give her these exact headphones. And I said, Melinda, I'm going to find those for you. And she goes, okay. And I found them, and she wore them on a few podcasts and stuff that she was on. And but I've just had them down here. So, again, like I said, watch this. They're, it's like my Kandagawa shirts right here. I can
That's a challenge to you.
I can sit here and say with a straight face, I don't have any I don't have any pillowcases with things printed on them.
Man.
But see, I've given you nowhere else to go. I'm showing my receipts. You're like, you won't even tell me how old you are. You're like anywhere from 50 to like 25. I don't know.
I'm all over the place because I just want things to always be new and not tired, and I want the new thing, and the new thing is not good these days. So I have to.
I will be.
That's why I treating Breath of the Wild like it's a new game, even though it's not. It's really not.
I will say one thing in Boomer's defense. He's a single guy, right? You and I, Michael, we can go to our wives and say, "Hey, would you be interested in putting this outfit on?" Just saying.
Right,
we don't need a pillow.
Right.
So,
man.
Maybe that doesn't help Boomer out much, but
oh my goodness.
Anyway, let's start bringing it in because we do this to Michael all the time. He always says, "Oh, you got the duration, you got me as long as," and we always take advantage.
All right, wrap it up, dude. Wrap it up.
I never even asked you, Boomer, if you had to work tomorrow, so you're probably.
I would have said if I had to.
I sure hope so, because you're screwed now. You got like 3 hours of sleep coming to you. But got everybody here, please. 2 things I want you to do for me before you go. Make sure you're subscribed to Retro Blasting. Some of you that are here tonight are here specifically because you're already subscribed to Retro Blasting. But make sure you're subscribed to Retro Blasting, and please subscribe to Aged Boomer. We need to get this effer monetized because he's been doing this way too long. Not to be,
He got 5 new subs, so he needs 125 more.
He needs 125 just to get to that minimum number, and this is just sinful that he is not where he needs to be just just yet. He needs to get that, $1.250 from AdSense, because that matters. I might actually be inflating it. That's probably more than you get from AdSense these days. Just
any rate.
But
there we go.
I mean,
the link, if y'all are inclined, you can check it out. Yes, all right.
All the links are below. We got Michael.
Okay. Yes.
We got Netter, Age of Boomer, all the members of the channel. They are all linked in the description below. Please make sure you. That's the best way you can support. Just subscribe.
Yes.
Just subscribe. Right. If you've enjoyed what we did here tonight, every Friday night. Come hang out.
Farty foxes are very welcome.
And Netter loves the Farty Fox. She's very encouraged by the Farty Fox. It may be the best thing from her perspective, the best thing I ever came up with for the show. So, but anyway, she doesn't wait now until after the stream. She needs to see it right up front.
Shimmy left, shimmy right, Farty Fox is dancing tonight. Hearts go popping out his bum, wiggle, wiggle, here they come. Come. Cute as can be with a fluffy tail sway, spreading love in the silliest way. Farty Fox, you're the best. Boop, 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 you're simply the cutest mess.
Thank you so much, Lady Mist. You are very encouraging to Netter.
Farty Fox.
And I love that Michael went to the picture. Actually, she's really cute. I'm just saying. But anyway, so Michael, what have you got coming up that you want to share with the audience?
Okay, I've got 3 videos in active production right now. So actually 4. God, my brain is just mush when it comes to video development. So I have a big McFarlane Superpowers, the story so far about the progression of that figure line. We've shot a ton of B-roll for it. We've got a huge script treatment. I've just got to sort it. I've even done an interview with like a super collector of that stuff. So I've got to get all that together and then get that ready so that I can film it. I'm doing a big video about this anime called Haganai, which even if you're not into anime, I really encourage you to watch this video because that show was off the hook. Really, really, really funny and really inappropriate. When I say inappropriate, I mean inappropriately funny, not like inappropriate like NC-17 or anything like that. And then I'm also working on a video about the Toy Biz Batman line of 1989 toy line, and I'm also working on a video about my trip to Egypt. So there's like 4 things actively going right now, and then I've got a bunch of other things that are in sort of early pre-production in the background. So
yeah, and if you're not following Michael on Patreon, you missed out because he posted pictures from that Egypt trip, and he's not joking around. He wears that Indiana Jones hat like in real life. So he absolutely was going to be wearing it when he went into the tombs and whatnot. And it's got real mummy dust on it now.
Yeah,
so,
that one, that particular hat, the group that I was with for 2 weeks, they told me you can't, after like the 3rd day, they said you can't clean it. Don't dust it when you get back to the hotel. Just let it endure whatever it endures for 2 weeks. I said, okay, yeah. I'm willing to do that. And people, were kind of like going, it's looking better and better every day. It looks amazing. And then at the end of the trip, they told me, they said, when you get home, you need to put it like in a display case and not ever clean
it.
So it's in a display case, not this hat, but the hat I was wearing at the very beginning of the stream happens to be an exact duplicate of that one that I had made after I got back from Egypt because I was never going to be able to wear that one again. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's really, really cool. Boomer, what's coming up on your channel?
Well, we have Geeky Geezers this Sunday, where we're going to talk about some of the recent news, like the Ronda Rousey-Gina Carano fight, And unfortunately, a lot of celebrities passing away this week.
Yeah.
And,
I'm really hurting over Villa from Blake 7.
Yeah, just a lot of and actually, I found an interesting retrospective article in Babylon 5. We're going to talk a bit about that.
Okay.
I do. And J. Michael Straczynski apparently has a new series coming to Apple based on his what is it, a telepath graphic novel series he did. So that might be interesting. Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
Netter, what you got coming up you want to share about?
What day? This is Friday. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I don't even know what day it is anymore. I'm co-hosting pretty much everywhere. So tomorrow over on Big Al's channel, where we're going to be watching Tangle. Sunday, 8 p.m. Central. I am the one, the only Geezette on Geeky Geezers. Monday, I'm going to sneak into Last Call's members only stream. Which they haven't decided which movie yet, but
It's either going to be the Hidden Fortress or the original theatrical release of Star Wars. One of those two.
Yeah, I'm not a member, so I can't vote. Tuesday, I'm going to be simulcasting with Deleted Scenes, Age Boomer, and Troy, Twin Peaks.
Yep.
Followed by Troy and I simulcasting for
The Granada, Sherlock Holmes. Yep.
Wednesday, we got nothing going on. Well, actually, Troy does, because here we're going to have
Right.
See how I get to make it out. Thursday, I don't have to get yet.
Yeah, she's fading out. Can't hear her.
No, I can hear it in my
okay.
thing. It's like, Thursday, I don't have a guest yet, so it'll be a shoot release. It's back up the next Friday, so.
Guys, you know what's going on here. Every weekday. Am I going out too?
Yeah.
You're back now.
You're back.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Every weekday, noon Central, Liquid Lunch, and of course Friday night. Have we talked about what we're going to do next week, Boomer? Are we up for?
You want to do the Fallout 4 stream? We might as well just do it. You want to talk about Fallout 4? Why don't we do that?
We could do Fallout 4.
I can put in some stuff about Breath of the Wild too. Maybe we could do both. Or both of our open world obsessions. Maybe
our two open world gaming
there
obsessions.
We go. Yeah.
And then the following week, let's do our monthly karaoke stream.
Sounds good. Okay.
All right. That's it, my friends. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Michael, for putting up with my drunken shenanigans once again, and just hanging out with me. It really is an honor and a privilege that you are always so willing to come hang out with us. This is why I'm always talking you up on our streams, especially whenever the topic of toys comes up. Or James Bond, or Indiana Jones, or Star Wars. I'm saying, yeah, you might want to check out Retro Blasting. They're the guys that know they're over there. So
I appreciate that.
Cool.
So
got a really cool theme song.
And he's got a really cool theme song.
Yes.
If you got to get back to the past, let's just say, he's also got merch that he never talks about. But I got a T-shirt. So
We both do.
yeah, we do. So just keep that in mind as well. Thank you, everyone, so much for hanging out with us tonight. I hope, this morning now. Happy Saturday, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I hope you had a great time. I want you all to stay healthy. If you're not healthy, get healthy. Stay hydrated because it's such an important part of your health. Drink responsibly. Do as I say, not as I do. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Good night, ladies. Good night, sir. Hit it, sweetheart.
The neon lights are fading, closing time is near. Whispers in the corners, secrets shared sincere. The bartender's polishing the final glass. Time slips away like moving through the grass. Last call for alcohol, make your dreams come true. One more round, friends, from me and you. Let's toast to the night, to the stories we've spun. Here's to the laughter and to what's begun. The shadows are dancing as we linger still. Every clink of a glass, a memory to distill. Beneath this smoky haze, our feelings they unfurl. A tapestry of whispers in this corner of the world. The jukebox serenades us with a final tune, crooning to the lonely and the lovers under the moon. With every soft note, the end draws ever near. But in this fleeting moment, there's nothing to fear. Last call for alcohol, make your dreams come true. One more round, friends, for me and you. Let's toast to the night, to the stories we've spun. Here's to the laughter and to what's begun.